All right. Oh, there we go. If you turn it up. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's another TikTok Trash Tuesday, everybody. I'm excited. Are you excited? You ought to get excited. Get yourself together. I got to get myself together here, trying to frame things up. I've been cramming food in my face in the last 5 minutes here, trying to get ready for you beautiful, dirty babies. That's what we're here for, right? We're here to talk a little bit of smack on the internet. That's what I like. That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. I hope that's what you're here for, because that's what we're doing here this evening. As we do every Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. Eastern. Let me get rid of all this. Because every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, what we do is we go to, during the week, I go through TikTok, and any movie-related TikToks that I find, I pull out and I say, you know what? I'm going to talk about that. But I don't watch the whole thing. No, I only watch just a couple of seconds just to see what it is, see that it's movie-related, and I go, all right, you know what? I'm watching that. And talking about it with you guys. That's what we do. We bring it back here. We talk about it with you. And we do that every single Tuesday here at 8 p.m. Here at HMP at 8 p.m. Eastern. I don't know what's going on. All right, let me get it together. How's everybody doing? Everybody having a good day? I've had a good day. I had a productive day. I cleaned some stuff. I cleaned a lot of things. And when you can clean stuff on your day off, it feels like you have accomplished something. So, I want to end the day out here with a great TikTok Trash Tuesday, and we do all that with you. And so do that with me by hitting that like and subscribe button. And for the love of God, right under that like button, there's a hype button. Flip that bad boy to the right. You'll see the little star hype. You remember it looks like the star from the More You Know campaign from NBC in the 80s. Boom, 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 boom. It looks like that. Hit that hype button. That gets other people out here to actually see this. I swear to God, I put in so much work for this show, for everything that we do. Just hit the like button, for the love of God. And for the love of God, watch my brand new video, Fried Rice and Jackie Chan, where I talk about, you guessed it, fried rice and Jackie Chan. I make fried rice for everybody to show you how I do it. And we talk a little bit about Jackie Chan and how those two things are related. It's wild and crazy. And what's also wild and crazy is that, I have almost 24,000 subscribers, and YouTube itself has decided to show that Jackie Chan fried rice video to, I don't know, 1,200 people. That's it. And then it's the impression rate is terrible. I don't know why the fuck that is. Hit the like and subscribe button. Go check out my fried rice Jackie Chan video. I'm very proud of it. I thought there's a good job in there, and I hope people actually get to see it. The watch time and like ratio to how many people are watching it is pretty friggin' wild. While YouTube is not continuing to push this, I don't know. That's why that like, subscribe, and hype button is all very, very necessary, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. That's all for my rant today. We came here to talk some shit about TikTok, and that's what I'm here for today, and I hope that's what you're here for, because that's what this show is. That's what this show is. So let's get it on board, and let me get myself framed up properly here, because this thing decides to go wherever the hell it wants to. There we go. Well, let's go with TikTok Trash Tuesday, numero 33.
The character didn't have a name. He didn't have to have a name because there were no words spoken in the sketches in which he featured. They were silent sketches.
And if you don't know what name that is, you are a sad, sad, sad person who has led a very sheltered and, dare I say, worse off life for not knowing who this man is right here. Champion of all champions. I'll tell you that right there. Absolutely hilarious. W's in the chat for Mr. Rowan Atkinson, a.k.a. Mr. Bean.
But then when we thought, actually, these sketches are quite funny, it's quite an interesting idea to develop a comedy character who doesn't use words. Television comedy had developed from radio comedy, which was a very wordy, tradition. And we had to give him a name in order to give the television show a name. So we came up with the name of Mr. Bean.
What if it was something else? What if it was anything else outside of Mr. Bean? What if we called him Mr. Richard or something like that? Would every dude that's being, named Richard or something become a Mr. Bean-esque kind of character? Not a ton of people named Bean, so I suppose that's probably advantageous to most.
You were thinking Mr. White for a while. That was an idea, but that sounded a bit dull. We thought of, vegetables, and Mr. Bean seemed to be short, sharp, and to the point. Mr. Bean the most, because he's a character who's furthest away from my own character. As a person, I don't like him at all. I think he's very odd and pretty weird and not very nice.
That was one of my favorite parts about Mr. Bean, was that he was just this unrelenting asshole. He's such an asshole character in like scenes like this, where someone should easily be able to get on this ride with him and everything and enjoy this. But because Mr. Bean has this childlike bullcrap, but he's an adult, he becomes this ridiculously petty person who's like, no, this is my seat. I'm the one that's here. I'm going to get to enjoy this. And when he accomplishes his goal, he's very happy with himself. That's the best part too. Is that he doesn't go like, oh, I got one. Like, he knows he got one over. He's just like, I acted like a child and I won. I love Mr. Bean. And you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. If someone out there is not a Mr. Bean fan, I start to question them. Mm-hmm. As you should.
I realized, Eddie, he's such a brilliant mimic. I said, you could play a lot of parts.
You never really quite know with John Landis what might be the truth and what might be something that John Landis made up for a really great story. And John Landis is good at stories. He is good at stories. And but sometimes he just starts talking. I always question. I just go, you bullshitting me, John Landis? You bullshitting me on this one? But we did a review of Coming to America couple of months back here on HMP. So go check out that if you want to see us. We talked all about Eddie Murphy and stuff. It was a really great time.
And he was like, what? And once he saw the makeup brilliance of Rick, he realized I could. And then the barber shop, instead of casting old men, we started, okay, well, Eddie, you'll be him. And Arsenio, you'll be him. And Eddie, you can be him too. And the studio production guys are going, wait, there's 5 people in the scene and 3.
And really, when you think about it, like if it were safer next to anyone else, how insane of an idea that this sounds. Oh yeah, we're just going to put him in makeup and everything, and it's going to fly. Not only is it going to fly, because people will see, like the good majority of people I think out there saw Eddie Murphy through the character, through all the makeup and everything, go, oh my God, Eddie Murphy's playing these characters. Arsenio Hall is playing these characters. This is great. But it was so good though that there were a sect of people that did not realize that these were not these actors. That they thought they were actual people, and they're like, where'd they get all these crazy old timers from? Well, all those crazy old timers are those 2 young guys.
3 of them are Eddie. Oh my God, blue screen, green screen, split screen. I really felt strongly that to shoot Eddie in multiple characters and Arsenio, I would not do any optical tricks, that it would all be just doubles and over the shoulders and very straightforward coverage, which was so successful that to this day, even though I reveal it at the end, many people don't realize Eddie played so many parts.
Listen, real Americans, pound for pound, Sugar Ray Robinson, the greatest fighter ever lived.
The best part is like really when you hear that, it's just like we all know those old men. We all know those old timers and stuff like that who do talk like that. The thing that has always impressed me about Eddie and these multiple character scenes and stuff like that is how loose everything is. But yet it can't be that loose because they've got to edit this bad boy together. Especially take the Nutty Professor, when they're all sitting around the table and all but 1 or 2 of those characters are Eddie Murphy, and the overlapping of dialogue, the kind of going back and forth. I don't know how they did. I mean, between Rick Baker and Eddie Murphy, what an unbelievable combination of just being able to sell us these characters. It's really, really unbelievable.
Oh, come on, man. What about Joe Louis?
The Brown Bomber. Now that was a great boxer.
Damn right.
The way you tell a story on film is essentially it's montage. It's the juxtaposition of images. But when you shoot stuff in many different locations, and very often with the same actor, it gets more complicated. So there are scenes where I'm shooting James Earl Jones coming in this way, and they're in New York. And then in here, I'm in LA. And when he comes in, James has to interact with Eddie as the barber, Eddie as the old Jewish guy. That was something I just made up. That's one of my favorite moments. What is this, velvet?
This is beautiful. What is
This is beautiful.
that, velvet?
Well, a lot of what determines the characters and what they look like are kind of, again, the faces underneath. So I knew that, if I did basically the same thing in every one of the guys, they would still look different because of the structure of their faces. But I definitely wanted to make sure that they were different people, so the Eddie's barber, was very different from Arsenio's barber. So, I gave Arsenio, decided to give him a beard, this white beard. And Clint, who was the other guy in there, made him, bald.
Eddie's boyhood friend, Clint, played one of the barbers we made.
He is great. He's one of the unsung guys in that movie. I think he's actually really hilarious, but obviously, your Eddie and Arsenio are going to get your main thrust here. He's a great third banana that I don't think enough people think about.
Him older. I mean, Clint could be Clint, and Arsenio could be the other barber, except when he was also Semi in the same. So it was fun. I have to say that stuff was fun, and a lot of it was improvised. It was just, me and Eddie. I'm playing all the other parts, and Eddie, and that was fun.
Listen, it's a fantastic film. We had a really great review over it on HMP. Check out the archives there, everybody. It's good stuff. What's next? Let's see. I can't read everything very well here. New 3D zoetrope at the Denver Performing Arts Complex. This isn't like specifically movie related, but it is movie related in as much as the persistence of motion is how we see films, or at least certainly how we used to see films. And it's sort of technically still how we see them today. But I saw this for a couple seconds and I'm like, man, people got to see this. This is kind of a badass zoetrope. Check this out. It's over in Denver. Kind of zoetrope. Like, what's exactly going on? Again, this is again how film works and stuff, is that you are just missing all of these things that are in the middle. And when those things are flashing by you at fast enough, everything seems as if it's going in this fluid motion. Your brain doesn't your brain just go ahead and says, all right, that's what I'm seeing. It's a fantastic magic trick. Great. Also reminds me a little bit of that the little opening thing in Shrek, where they go in and the little marionettes come out and start singing their little thing talking about the land. Please, what's the fucking line? We have 3 rules, let us lay them down. Please stay off of the grass. Mind your shoes. Wipe your face. Good shit like that.
Are you the kind of actor that keeps like a secret or not so secret list of filmmakers that you want to work with?
Yeah, for sure.
Tarantino's been chasing you. He wants you.
I don't know about that.
That's true.
Well, I mean, there were talks for her in Hateful Eight, if memory serves.
True. No, he said that. Hateful Eight, the Jennifer Jason Leigh part, was originally written for you, I believe.
I turned it down, which I should not.
Big mistake. She'd have been great in that role. And listen, Jennifer Jason Leigh got a lot of good stuff to chomp on there. She looked, nice and ugly and everything. She's a very beautiful woman, but allowed herself to look just haggard and disgusting. It was great. And would have loved to see something like that from Jennifer Lawrence as well. Would have been great.
Not have done.
I'm glad that we got what we got. Don't get me wrong. I don't want people saying like, oh, no. I'm happy with what we got.
And I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood too. Didn't he want you?
Well, he did, and then everybody was like, she's not pretty enough to play Sharon Tate.
But were they wrong? Listen, I hate to be an asshole here, but were they wrong? When you compare the two to Sharon Tate, which one looks more appropriate? I think we all know the answer to that. She's right back there.
And then they didn't. I know. And then,
That's not true.
I'm pretty sure it is true. Or it's that thing where I've been telling the story this way for so long that
I've been trying to tell myself this is fine.
I believe it. No, but I'm pretty sure that happened. Or he just never was considering me for the part, and the internet just like went out of their way to call me ugly.
Well, that does sound like the internet.
The internet. I know the internet. It would never do that.
No. Sweetie pies?
The internet is known for being so nice and so kind. That's literally what I'm doing right now. Is I'm doing a show where I'm talking shit about people on the internet. That's how nice the internet is. I take a specific Tuesday out every single week to talk about how everyone on the internet is stupid. So let's go.
There was almost a Godzilla movie where Jesus Christ fights aliens.
I stopped it right here because I was like, I really wish I didn't know this information. You know? Because now that there's this thought in my head and I don't know how to make it go away unless I see a Godzilla versus Jesus movie. I don't even know who to root for, you know?
In 1979, writer Yoshio Aramaki submitted a script called God's Godzilla, and Toho nearly made it. It's one of the strangest ideas in Godzilla history, and here's why it got buried. First, the plot takes place during World War III, where alien gods awaken Godzilla in
Now, listen, we might be close to this, so pay attention. This could become relevant.
Peru. Then, a humanoid claiming to be Jesus descends from their ship, controlling Godzilla and driving humanity insane with visions.
Wait a minute. So God is this Jesus is controlling Godzilla. That's an interesting. I didn't think we were going in this direction.
At the climax of the film, Jesus stands atop a pyramid in Egypt, screaming, "Behold your future," as Godzilla kneels like the Sphinx beneath him. The idea was so bizarre, Toho completely scrapped it and replaced it with The Return of Godzilla.
Boo! I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna say boo. We could have had God versus Godzilla. You're also going to get nasty comments from people before the show ends. That's fine. I don't care. Those people can suck eggs, and all the other words. Listen, I'm going to tell you this right now. I took this because I saw this and I'm like, this is an AI video, obviously, but I still feel like I need to, from time to time, if I see something that's cool, bring it on to TikTok Trash Tuesday and let everybody know about it and see it, because I think that there are some of us that just go AI and we pass on through and we don't see how good it's getting, how fast it's getting good, and what frankly the future could be. And you can be the guy who said, like, I want my horse and buggy till the end of time.
接下来我就不客气了，你能怎么不客气？
Now, do you want to watch the 3-hour version of that? Probably not, but it's a fun little silly clip on the internet. Why not? Why not? And go like, we're putting people out of work. Are we though? Are we though?
Appeared in something that I am obsessed with. It is called the Dick Tracy Special.
Man, oh man, do I need to have Matt Smith on to talk about the Dick Tracy Special and all the Dick Tracy stuff. It is very much his wheelhouse here and everything. So I know a little bit about this, but I wanted to bring this video on to show you guys, just in case you didn't know some of this lore, because this is wild and crazy, kids. Check this out.
The backstory is essentially...
You know about this?
Warren Beatty. Damien told me the term is called IP squatting. He owns the rights to Dick Tracy. He has to perform as Dick Tracy once every decade or 15 years in order to retain the rights. And they said, sure, why not? So instead of doing a full-fledged movie or a short, he does these weird produced on the back lot where his character comes out. He's interviewed by Leonard Maltin in character. He did another one during the pandemic in 2023. It was insane. And I was like, Wendy is in this. I was like, I got to go watch it. It's all...
This is insane, isn't it? This is something that he has been doing since the 90s. Is he wants this for whatever reason. And again, I feel like, Warren, what are you, 80 at this point? You're 80 something, maybe? Why aren't you, just letting somebody get a hold of this thing, man? Get somebody on, just let somebody have this. What are you holding on for it? Because you think that you're going to be Dick Tracy at 83 years old? Get out of here.
Online, it's you and Mindy Sterling. You meet Warren Beatty as Dick Tracy at the studio lot. Tell us everything you can about this insane endeavor. I'm obsessed.
Well, he got his walker out.
You know more than me. I never understood why we
Somebody has a diabolical laugh.
did that.
So weird.
Yeah. And we auditioned. What? Yeah, we had to audition.
Wow, dude. You have to audition for Warren Beatty's shitty project to sit and squat on IP. That's hilarious. Which probably means just like, which one of these girls is going to bang me?
And I'm just as fat as a pig in it. Yeah. It was one of the weirdest things I've ever done. And you're right. It was because he needed to hold on to the rights and he needed to do something with it.
Needed to.
Yeah.
Needed to.
He will not let anybody touch Dick Tracy. It's so cool.
It's so funny. And I don't remember much about it except that nothing we said made any sense to me.
No, because he just wrote words down and just gonna say that and you'll be fine.
Was it scripted?
Yeah.
Okay.
Were you like terrified to be like acting opposite Warren Beatty?
It was intimidating.
Yeah.
You guys had like a little walk-in.
I wonder what they shot it on. Because this newest one's got to be digital, right? But there was a point in time when Warren Beatty had to bust out the old film cameras. That must have been a real bitch, 1998 rolls around, Warren Beatty got to bust out a camera, like an actual ass film camera, and hire a DP and get a whole bunch of licenses. This they can just get somebody and throw them on there.
Talk as you guide him
walk
into
and
the
talk. Yeah.
How do you look?
He looked great.
Yeah, he's so handsome. Still.
Yeah.
Sick.
Handsome.
Yeah.
And
That's how she got the job. She's just like, still looking handsome, boss.
can't believe you know about
Still looking handsome.
that.
Yeah,
It was like a fever dream.
It really is. And I was like, I didn't realize there was one earlier. And then when, because I saw the one during the pandemic, I was like, this is so fucked up. I can't believe that nobody's talking about
It plays
this.
at like 4 a.m. on TCM.
Yeah. And it's
That's how
like,
he
now he gets like
Oh, he's got some back dealy deal. Huh?
Ben Mankiewicz from TCM
He's not just like throwing it up on YouTube. Okay, that's better.
to do it now. And it's like, who allows this? And he's probably putting his own money in it. It's like
probably.
It's like Annette Bening's retirement that he's pumping out.
I like the idea that Dick Tracy is stealing from Annette Bening's retirement fund to pump out bullshit Dick Tracy projects in order for him to keep the IP. I love the world that we live in. That's the world that I've crafted for myself. They can have my dick when they pry it from my cold dead hands. Warren Beatty.
I'm like, where is the money coming from?
Wow. I would love to work with him on something else.
Yeah.
I'm sure this is how Warren, launders that cocaine money.
Let's roll that. Let's roll that.
Like Reds, something
Reds
amazing
too.
like that. But yeah, I got to do that and it was very strange.
That is something else, man. I'd like to hear more of those stories of people that got roped into some bull crap from Warren Beatty. Who, by the way, is I always like to mention this because it was in Peter Biskin's book a whole bunch. Warren Beatty was a groveler. Warren Beatty was a beggar and a pleader and would wildly embarrass himself in order to get what he wanted. But he would get on his hands and knees and pray and beg, and he was not in private. He was not above throwing himself on the fire and going like, please, boss, give me some money, boss. I want to make a movie, boss, please, boss.
I never thought this was going to be a horror franchise, but Paramount made sure to milk this cow as much as they could.
Oh, yeah. Paranormal Activity. Our old buddy CHH talking about some Paranormal Activity. What do we got?
I'm talking about Paranormal Activity. The first one, I guess, was so successful, they needed to do more. Now,
it was such a cool time. That whole, whatever the ad campaign was called, where you had to basically like, you know, say, hey, in my hometown, we want to see this new Paranormal Activity movie. They were probably just going to be seeding this out to everybody in kind of small increments and stuff like that. But it was an amazing way to just deliver this hype, to deliver this crazy hype. And like the theater that I saw it in was absolutely sold out. It was so great. And like, what an awesome audience experience where the when the lights go down, or when the screen goes black and they have the new night pop up, and you hear everybody in the audience just kind of they're just chuckling because they know what's about to come up. They see something in there. The next night is about to come on. And it was such a phenomenal experience. It's no wonder it made all the money it did.
I will say this. There are some good entries, like 3. I think 3 is one of the best paranormal.
All right, I want to talk about it real fast because he just started mentioning the things. Here's my Paranormal Activity like a series. Here's what I think. I think one is great. One is a very good movie. It is what it is, but it is because it's very limited and stuff. Part 2 is fantastic because part 2, if in you know the movies, is a prequel to part 1. So we actually find out how we got to this place. So finding some of this backstory and how it came into play before the first movie, very interesting. Even more so interesting is when we get to the third one, which is a prequel to that prequel, which happens when they're children. And this, like the great 80s vibe and everything that was in that movie was so cool. How they just, everything they set up, great. And another great example of when they get trailers correct, right? There's a scene in that movie where they're doing the Bloody Mary bit, right? And with that, when they're doing it in the trailer and everything, it booms, it goes at a certain point. Then when you're watching the actual movie, you're waiting for it. You've seen this in the trailer featured prominently. And then the scare's not there. The scare that you saw in the trailer was not there. They waited and scared you again. Damn, that was good. Part 4. Part 4, you could throw away. I don't know why part 4 kind of exists. It's kind of like neither here nor there. I don't quite understand it. The marked ones, however, is fantastic. That movie is so good. Brings us to a kind of a new era here and everything. New location. And again, no spoilers here, but how that movie ends. Oh, so beautiful. And then, but also kind of leaves us open to what the hell's going on with all of this stuff. That's really great. I'm kind of disappointed we didn't get too much more, but that's kind of my rankings there.
Activity movies. They really started to run out of steam, and it's interesting that Next of Kin came out all these years later, was a totally unique story, but now there's another one in the works. Could that one be any good? I don't know. But if you were there for the first one, you remember how big the release was. And even though it's probably a series that shouldn't have been a franchise, I gotta admit, I am interested to see what they do next. Let me know which one was your favorite out of these movies when they were coming out, the Paranormal Activity series.
Like I said, 1 was fantastic for what it is. Certainly the theater experience was a really good one. And then having the credits kind of be nothing was a really great experience to also kind of feel like the dum-dums in the audience who didn't know any better were like, what the fuck was this real? What was going on here? It was really good time. But ultimately, I would say probably the third one is my favorite one just because they use the technology and the time so effectively.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Is there
Every cinephile's fantasy. Well, first of all, this is no fantasy of mine because if you grew up where I did, you had this Charlotte Hornets jacket in the 90s. That's right. Apparently, that jacket made its way all around the country, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, everybody owned this jacket." And I'm just like, "Did everybody own this jacket?" Like, I knew that everybody owned this jacket, but I only assumed that everybody had this jacket because of where I lived, which was right in the Charlotte region here. So everybody within the area, certainly of that time and everything, your era of Alonzo Mourning and Larry, what's his nuts, those were the times. So we had so many Hornets things out there, but apparently that was everywhere. The Hornets jersey was everywhere, I guess, or the starter jacket rather. But every cinephile's fantasy.
Doctor, help! Is anybody a doctor?
What's going on?
Are you a doctor?
No, I'm an AMC A-lister though.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah, dude. You can see up to 4 films a week.
You must know like a lot about.
I've been covering a lot of AMC A-list material on TikTok Trash Tuesday, low these past couple of weeks. And I'm starting to think that y'all are in a little bit of a cult. You know what I'm saying? These are like the same people that like will make, because like Costco, for example, like doesn't like notoriously they don't pay for any advertising. They don't do advertising and stuff like that. You've never seen a Costco television commercial. But people are doing like, you know, basically like the Costco guys stuff, doing Costco ads essentially almost for free and whatnot. So like that's what it feels like AMC A-listers are doing now, is that they're giving their kind of like free advertisement. It's just like, are you guys wanting to get on like the bus every month or something? I don't see it from Regal Unlimited people, which honestly I think is maybe secretly almost a better deal. I don't know. I had a starter jacket and I had the starter jacket. I'm in Ohio. That's fantastic. See, that's crazy. I just don't like, I never quite understood that, man. It was nuts. The Charlotte Hornets was my favorite team from the NBA Jam. Right. We had little Muggsy Bogues in there, baby. Come on, man. We got LJ, we got Muggsy Bogues, we got Lonzo Mourning. It was a time, dude. It was a moment. And we hadn't traded away one Kobe Bryant. That's right. Kobe Bryant was supposed to be a Hornet. Traded him to the Lakers. And the rest was history.
Cinema. I know a ton. Yeah,
that's great.
Absolutely.
First of all, this man should be arrested for this jacket. I don't know what's going on here, but this is some David Putty-esque era stuff here. What are we doing?
Shut up, dude. What's this deal? Anyway, no, I was just saying it's like less than $30 a month. So it's like a great
Look at him plug it.
deal. I think he's almost dead, by the way.
Yeah, we could probably catch a film.
I mean, if you want, I can teach you a lot. You probably haven't seen.
That would be
You probably
so
don't know
great,
that much,
man.
do you?
Yeah. What's the state of cinema today?
I mean, dude, it's movies are back, right?
No, they aren't. Movies are shit right now. I'm an AMC A-list member. Well, what the hell are you even watching, bro? What are you even watching right now? I just don't know. I was big in the NBA and the Hornets fan back in the 90s. The Kobe trade broke my heart. Isn't it the worst? It was just like, now looking at it, it's just like, no, why would you do this? We could have had one of the greatest. Notice I said one of the greatest. And no, I don't mean LeBron. Out of here, son.
Are you on Letterboxd?
Yes, I am on Letterboxd. You can check the description for that. For it to, go follow me on Letterboxd, why don't you? It's Jamba Juicy. Hey, buddy. Thanks for checking in, bud. All right. Hell yeah. Jamba Juicy coming in hot. All right, let's check out this one. Movies on Netflix versus theater. Why the big screen wins every time? Question mark. The Amazing Pop Culture Podcast. Why the fuck we decided to choose this angle, I don't know.
Said it's going to be on Netflix. And is there a disappointment like, oh, well, it's not going to be quite that good because it's only reserved for Netflix?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Anybody else? If you hear that a movie is going to be on Netflix alone, it is just coming out on Netflix, do you in your head say that's going to be lesser than what a film would be if in that movie came out in the theater? I strongly think that every person that sees a movie that comes out on Netflix, that debuts on Netflix, is going to assume that that is a lesser quality movie than a movie that came out in the cinema. Tell me otherwise.
Do you see that, or you think it doesn't matter which platform, it still can be good?
Well, what a great question and answer. That that's TikTok Trash Tuesday for you, everybody. Yeah, I don't know. I only know where they begin. I never know where they end or what they end with. It just kind of happens, and there we are. What's next?
Doctor, Pixar ditch.
I thought something was wrong with this. Again, I saw it in the timeline here. I think the audio screwed up. I'm going to skip over this one. I'm not sure This sucks because it did that earlier, and I was just like, I don't know what's happening, but it kind of messed it up. So we're gonna skip over that. I apologize for the weird mess up here.
Now,
See, I don't know why I don't know why I did this, but this was in the edit, so I'm sorry about all that mess. All right, let's go. Here we are.
First movie I booked was Big Top Pee-wee.
I saw Big Top Pee-wee in the movie theater, as I was a big Pee-wee's Big Adventure fan, as they re-released that in theaters when I was a kid, and they brought our whole daycare to see it, and that was indeed the first movie I ever remember vividly seeing on the big screen. Is Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Has a giant place in my heart. I absolutely love that movie. And sure, it's not as good, but Big Top Pee-wee's something, right? It's a movie that was made.
I played Duke, the dog-faced boy. It was a little part, but it was cool. But then the second one that was right after was the James Bond movie. That was called License to Kill. And that was really like something because, first of all, I was a fan of the Bond movies. I grew up watching Roger Moore as James Bond, Spy Who Loved Me, Live and Let Die, and then gave me a little revenge. And those that thought that acting was a pipe dream for me, here I was doing a movie that would be seen by a lot of people. But it took a while after I booked that job and did it and it came out. It took a while to get my third job.
When was Usual Suspects?
6 years after. That was the one.
Benicio del Toro is one of the most interesting actors out there. We talk about him on the podcast whenever he comes up. And one of the things that I think that we say the most about him is that you never quite know what you're going to be getting out of a Benicio del Toro performance. You could be getting one of the most interesting, thought out, kind of just, feeling provoking kind of performances and everything. Or you could be watching him and going, what are you even doing? Are you just trying to be an alien creature now? Who talks like this? Who acts like this? What is this character? You never know with Benicio del Toro. You are flipping a coin, and it's not a 50-50. It's not like, oh, he's going this way or he's going this way. It really is just, it's roll to roll, sometimes scene to scene. 5 things you didn't know about VHS. Well, let me make sure I can let me blow this up so I can make sure I can read this crap. Hold on, here we go. I know a lot about VHS because I'm an old man, and as an old man, you know stuff about old stuff. So let's see what hopefully I don't know, because I'd like to learn. I like to learn. Motherfucker. Did I pick a TikTok for TikTok Trash Tuesday where the point of the TikTok was to click a link to go to a thing? I wonder why there's not more people watching. Oh, shit. What did you learn? Anything? God, I hope you learned something.
Mark, you were in D2 Mighty Ducks.
First of all, I did not know that Marc Maron was in D2 The Mighty Ducks. Movies that I certainly enjoyed, the Mighty Ducks movies, certainly 1 and 2. I don't even remember if I even saw 3, but certainly 1 and 2. I don't remember him being in the Mighty Ducks 2, but then again, it's also been 30 years since I've seen Mighty Ducks 2, and I certainly didn't know Marc Maron back then. And I got this because I'm hopefully wanting to see Marc Maron in a positive light, because I got to be honest with you kids, over the last 5 years, or maybe even a little longer than that, maybe almost closer to 10, I've really kind of fallen out of love with Marc Maron in a lot of ways. And listen, I'm somebody who I've seen Marc Maron live in person. Like, we were literally front row at the Laughing Skull in Atlanta, so I'm like 2 feet away from Marc Maron. So trust me, I'm a big fan, but it's fallen off a whole bunch in the last couple of years here and everything. I think he's just so fucking cynical and just like, I don't know. It's just like, it feels like the old man bit. I'm kind of done with it at this point. But I wanted to get this video because he's with Adam Ray, and Adam Ray is a funny guy. I think Adam Ray's very funny. But he's doing the Dr. Phil character, so if you don't know this, that's Dr. Phil. But Adam Ray's talking to him, so I decided, I'm like, hopefully Marc can have a fun time with this. He posted this on his own thing. Let's just see. Make me laugh, Marc Maron. Please, for the love of God, it's been a minute. Please make me laugh.
You know what's great about that? I wasn't. Are you fucking serious? I'll tell you the story on that one. D2.
Okay, so he wasn't in Mighty Ducks. Maybe he was almost in Mighty Ducks, it sounds like. All right, let's see.
The Mighty Ducks 2. My buddy Steve, who I went to college with, directed that thing.
Yeah.
And he wanted to help me get into SAG, so he gives me this little part in that movie.
Who were you?
It got cut out.
But I was cut out of D2 Mighty Ducks.
Yeah. Ooh, that's got to be a rough one when you're on the cutting floor of Mighty Ducks 2. Listen, you invite everybody to the premiere, you know. Everybody's like, I want to see Goldberg. I want to see Goldberg. And you're like, you better take a good look at Goldberg right now because he ain't about to be that cute in a couple of years. Crack is a turd, boy. Don't be taking no crack. And to get cut out of D2, the Mighty Ducks. Sad.
That might be the most embarrassing thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
It kind of is, but maybe if you hear the story, it's not so embarrassing.
Okay, continue.
So he cast me as this valet, and apparently, if I remember correctly, the Ducks were wandering around Beverly Hills, and none of the stores would let them in, right?
Yeah.
I don't who the knows. So,
yeah, great
plot.
So
there's a part where I'm just this valet parking cars, and all the Ducks come up to me, and the question was something like, why wouldn't they let us into these stores? And I go, well, you got to know somebody to get anywhere in this town, in this town.
You're just fucking
out
of your chest.
Right.
I'm still correct. Marc, stop fucking texting me. I'm on the goddamn internet. Jesus Christ. Hold on. I send him this shit. He's being a turd. Stop sending me messages. I'm doing TikTok Trash Tuesday. And I don't know how to silence them. I turn on the don't disturb. Technically it's on sleep and it's still like fucking pinging me. I'm like, don't ping me, God damn it. I'm trying to be on the internet. All right, where were we?
Jerked off 3 times, you quack. That's right. That's right.
Oh, I'm gonna take this just because I don't give a fuck about this Marc Maron thing right now. Someone called Del Toro the Puerto Rican Brad Pitt. That's interesting. I like the juxtaposition, but I will say this: Brad is nowhere near the weirdo that Benicio is. I think they broke the mold with that guy. He's a stranger.
Yeah.
So I do the take like 3 times where I'm like, you gotta know somebody to get anywhere in this town. And after the 3rd take, the director, my friend Steve, comes up to me and goes, "You're scaring the Ducks."
Oh, so Marc didn't take or took things too seriously and blah, blah, blah. And I don't know. It's just wild because all of Marc's stories kind of ended up being just like, well, I was bringing a lot of weird, stupid energy to this when I didn't need to, and bringing in a lot of my own problems and putting them on other people. And I'm like, hey, you got to calm the hell down, dude.
This is the most impossible trivia question you're ever going to hear because
Do you not think that I stopped it right there? Let's go. You want some movie trivia? Say that shit's impossible. Let's go. I got a chat full of people. We can answer this crap, and we ain't even going to use the internet. Let's go.
the answer is just too weird. The question is, what is the connection between that Minecraft movie starring Jack Black and Apollo 13, the
Tom Hanks movie?
Tom Hanks movie from 1995 about the real-life Apollo 13 disaster.
Well, we recently reviewed Apollo 13 on HMP. That's right, everybody. We're a varied podcast. We talk about a lot of things, and Apollo 13 was definitely one of those. And I think our was that in a Sean Love Spaceship month there, chat? Let me know. I forget. We do, we've done we're coming up on we may be in the 700 episodes area at this point when you count all the other stuff. It's probably over 700 episodes at this point. So I forget when exactly this was, but we talked about this. But what does it have to do with Apollo 13? Minecraft Apollo 13. Maybe there's a producer involved. That seems to be the most common one. If you followed HMP Volume 1, Sylvester Stallone is always out there as a possibility.
The answer is that in the real near disaster that this film was based on, there was an explosion on board the Apollo 13 craft and they had to limp their way back home and skip the moon landing.
Right.
On their way back home, they had to rely on backup navigation systems designed by Jack Black's mother. His mother...
Oh, yeah, I'd heard something about this before. I don't know that I would have called that a connection to the Minecraft movie per se. You could put that to any Jack Black movie, I suppose, if you're using those that wide a gamut of parameter.
Was a famous aerospace engineer named Judith Love Cohen. And she worked on that project while pregnant with Jack Black. He was born in 1969. The Apollo 13 disaster happened in 1970.
You know what Jack Black's first words were as a baby? Yeah!
But wait, I've got one even weirder than that.
Okay, weirder than that one? I mean, I don't know how weird that was. It was interesting. Interesting for sure. Weird? Let's see if this next one pushes the weird button.
What is the connection between the Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson film Lost in Translation and the oddly prophetic movie Her?
Well, obviously, Scarlett Johansson is in both films as the voice of the AI robot intelligence in Her and as the character in Lost in Translation. So there you go. Yeah. Easy. That one was easy, Jason. What are you talking about, man?
Which Joaquin Phoenix falls in love with a computer. When Sofia Coppola wrote Lost in Translation, she based it on her brief marriage to filmmaker and photographer Spike Jonze.
Spike Jonze!
Later, when Spike Jonze wrote the film Her, he loosely based it on his brief marriage to Sofia Coppola, the same marriage. In other words, those two films are both based on the same brief marriage told from opposite perspectives. And in both films, Sofia Coppola's character is played by Scarlett Johansson.
I need to go back and watch those again. I've seen both films. What we say here? ScarJo is a robot. ScarJo is a robot. ScarJo's play an alien. That's one I wanted to do for a thing, just because I don't know if anybody has seen that film. What's it called? What's the one where she's an alien? It's called like Under Her Skin. Is that what it's called? It's the one where she's like naked and walking in a black void. It's a good film. Good film.
I was exhausted just watching Jim. It's exhausting just to watch him go. You know, you just sort of sit and watch him and you think, how many more takes does he have in him? And the answer is usually about 17 more. He's like Marilyn Monroe. He just gets better and everybody else gets more tired.
You never knew what he was going to do.
Good old Meg Tilly, everybody.
I loved working with Jim because he really liked me and he would give me things to do. The very first scene that we did, he said, Jennifer, as I leave the room, he goes, I want you to, I think he said, pinch my bottom. He wanted me to do something with his bottom. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to. He was like, I don't want to pinch the $18 million butt. I think that's what he was getting for the movie. But
I think he was getting more than 18 at the time. He might have gotten 20 for that one, I think.
I was like, he told me to do it, so I did it. He would give me permission to do all these things. Even on your close-up, they have a camera on Jim Carrey in case he thinks of something funny to do during your close-up.
That's also hilarious, though, and really indicative of kind of who Jim Carrey was and you know, the things that were going on. Of like, even during your single, like, sure, we did his single and we did all of your, you know, you did all your lines off camera. But when we turn it around, we're going to do his coverage too, because frankly, he might do something really funny and we don't want to screw this up. So we're going to be rolling two cameras here.
Liar was a phenomenal film. I think it was the biggest box office hit I was ever in, because most of the films I did were independent films or art house films. I'm very proud of Liar, Liar.
Liar Liar is also one that we ended up watching in a hotel room as a family and everything. And there's a point in that movie where they play an audio tape of, you know, some sexual sounds and stuff like that. All of a sudden, we just like, you know, I think they pretended that like dad sat on the remote or something and like the volume went down or whatever. But like we knew what was going on. Let me read this. When the movie ends and it's just other letterboxd users in the theater, you mean assholes sticking around so the people can't clean the theater? Thanks, guys. You're real gems. Real gems. I personally do not mind you sitting through the credits. There are some movie theaters out there where they will get on your ass. If you like the movie, like those credit starts, the house lights go up and they're in sweeping. I was never like that. I was like, I'm waiting to the end of the credits. Everything's there. And then we're doing the cleaning. But if you're sitting in there afterwards, guess what, homie? Lights are going on and we're starting to clean. Get the hell out of there. This is not a hangout spot. Go hang out in the lobby and start writing on your letterbox. Don't be an asshole and be like holding people up from doing their jobs. They're not paid enough as it is. They don't need you sitting in here just going like, I wonder what other people on Letterboxd thought. Do that shit at home. By the way, look at your AMC seats from God knows when. Those were better seats, let's be honest, than the red ones that got all the faux leather and stuff that are falling apart. These seats right here, these seats, lasted 30 years and didn't have any kind of problems. But now, not so much. All right, I got to take a deep breath. Got me a little juiced. All right, let's go.
But the thing that's missing.
The criteria, best combo in the Criterion Collection. So there is something about going to a place to pick up physical media and meeting other people in that space. Finding those people and talking to those people and realizing that we used to be in a world where we talk to each other, where we're nice human beings to each other. We don't do that enough anymore. But let's see what this conversation was going on Barnes & Noble. My guess is not too awful long ago.
Which I caught you, so you're going to have to listen to this. I used to be a college professor. And the one thing about record stores and bookstores, it was a place where people would meet people and would actually exchange ideas. They would say, you like that movie? Do you know about this guy?
Yeah, yeah.
And that was the exchange of information. So it used to be when you'd come in here 20 years ago, if you lined up, you'd have...
Everyone just chatting, I know.
You'd have like 40, 50 people in this room, and they'd be discussing jazz there, world music back there.
We used to have a society. We used to be out in places. You used to have to talk to people. I mean, listen, I'm not going to sit there and tell you that, having the internet isn't a very cool and awesome thing. It's really cool. I mean, I'm broadcasting out to people right now. It's a very cool thing. But we have lost some stuff. We have lost our ways in many ways, but that's maybe not lost our ways, maybe lost our way on the path. I feel like we could find our way back to a path where we live in a world where we, kind of talk to each other and communicate and stuff like that. And I think places like this are where we start stuff like that.
You could get an instant education, and also like Tower Records.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be when you went over there, like they had a branch next to Lincoln Center. They had a room that was bigger than this, that was just for like ballet music.
That's sick. Wow.
And then it was part of a section that big as the rest of this store that was classical music. And then they had another room that was as big as all this that was jazz.
That was what was so cool for me, is like we didn't have like a really Tower Records or anything else like that. We had a couple of things here in the mall and stuff. But one day, rest in peace, because it died not too awful long ago, we had a manifest discs and tapes. Tapes was in the name. That's how you know how long ago that was. But we were just driving around Charlotte one night when we're like, 16, 17 years old. You can't go to bars. You can't do anything. It's past 9 p.m. Everything is closed. But man, when you're driving down South Boulevard and all of a sudden you just see these kind of like fluorescent lights coming out of what used to be an old Food Lion, and you're like, manifest disc and tapes. This is going to be terrible. You walk in and it is the biggest music store that you've ever seen. They've got all the sections. Everything is in there. And they even have a punk section, which for guys like us was like, what the hell? This is so awesome. So We used to have a society now, and again, that place is closed as well. Everything going to the sands of time.
And then you had a couple of other floors that were just all sorts of
Just
other
all
music.
sorts, yeah.
And in the basement, there was an area this big that was just DVDs.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
my spot.
So you can't even comprehend like having that sort of assortment now.
I feel like physical media as a whole is like slowly coming back, just like with like my generation at least. But
Are you saying I'm in a different generation?
You're an old man, but listen, with age comes some wisdom a lot of times, not all the time, but a lot of times. And there is some wisdom into owning those things. How many of you have been watching something on streaming and enjoyed that or whatever, and then wanted to go back to it later, and then it's not there anymore? Then you have to try to relocate it again. Or you need to, or it could just be gone. It could just be gone. Like, for example, we talked about in the podcast, at least on the pre-show or post-show, Dinger Zone, patreon.com/HMP. I forgot where I was going. I just all of a sudden I started plugging the show, and then I just lost track. I wish I could go back to the mid-'90s Barnes & Noble. That was my sweet spot for place for finding new books to read. I almost... mentioned the Barnes & Noble conspiracy theory on the last Dinger Zone. Patrick Stewart, Mel Gibson, Julia Roberts, conspiracy theory. This is a movie podcast. This is a movie stream, whatever the fuck it is we do.
You know what I mean.
But yeah, you need to buy your physical media. You need to buy your stuff because you don't know where it's going. You don't know who has it. You don't know. Femme Fatale, that's what I was talking about. We were talking about Film Fatale on one of the Dinger Zones because I wanted to have that as be one of the movies this week because you've got Antonio Banderas and Rebecca Romaine. Took me a second. And they're so good looking in that film. I was like, oh, this will be perfect for the March of Dimes month here and everything. And you can't find it anywhere. I have it on DVD, but like the Blu-ray is like $88 or something like that. So that's out of print. You can't even find it like if you just go to like, the Apple TV app there and everything and put in Femme Fatale, it just goes, I don't know what you're talking about. Put in Brian De Palma, it shows you every Brian De Palma film, but that one. It's real weird. But I've got it on DVD, so at least I know that's not going away. It's weird, man.
Instead of going to NYU for a film degree,
yeah, and like sift through the collection. It's already curated.
Criterion has they'll have the director's cut where the director.
And if you're gonna get a streaming thing, at least get the Criterion Channel streaming thing. It's $100 for the entire year. Pay it once. You don't got to think about it. You can see all of these great movies. They still cycle in a bunch of movies that aren't even, quote unquote, in the collection itself, but they'll have themes and stuff, and they'll bring in a lot of different movies and things like that are not officially in the Criterion Collection, but they will be available for you to stream on the Criterion Collection channel. Plus, they got their 24/7 Criterion Collection stream there, so you can just tune it anytime and just see a random movie. Which I wish they would at least tell you the name of the movie when you first pop it on there, because otherwise you got to go to like 4 different websites. I still don't know why they haven't fixed that yet. It seems like a really boner move. But if you're somebody who's curious about Criterion and doesn't, want to like plop down even during the sales, $20 plus for a movie, and if you're not quite sure what exactly is on it and everything, check out the Criterion Channel. You can kind of audition these movies, if you will. And then if you dig one well enough, go ahead and purchase that bad boy when it comes in the either July or November sales at Barnes & Noble. You'd think I was paid by these motherfuckers, but I am not.
No, yeah, they have the entire which I think for upcoming filmmakers, it's really valuable. It's information you can't get like back in the day. Now it's like every director has the director's cut. Every director has a commentary.
Computers, because for example, you can go to Stanford University,
Mhm.
their philosophy.
It's on.
Hakuna Matata. Sorry, they said philosophy, and I just had to.
Yeah.
And this is
You just have to be willing and open.
source of philosophy.
Mm.
And Harvard has their biology, and other universities have other databases that are phenomenal.
Just open and yeah.
So
I appreciate talking to you, man. That was great. Yeah. What was your name, by the way? Gene.
geneticist.
Gene.
I thought I was gonna say Gene, the dancing machine. You might remember me.
I'm Jaden. Nice to meet you, man. Yeah.
Jaden, just like 8,000 of these other motherfuckers. Everybody named Jaden.
73, so I don't know how many more years I got going. So,
Well, if I see you around, man, I will always talk.
We'll give you a high five or something.
It used to be 2 aisles.
2 aisles, yeah.
In some of the stores.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
All right, the
Yeah.
NYPD's outside.
Have a good night.
Let's go.
Gene's a legend, man. What a guy.
Thanks, Gene. Big shout out here on TikTok Trash Tuesday. Next sale, I'm going to get the Jacques Tati collection. Very nice, very nice. Oh boy, here we go.
Can you guess the movie just by the frame? We'll do 2 movies, with the second one being a little harder.
All right. I consider myself a little something something. So let's see what we got here.
There will be 4 frames shown for each, but let's get started with movie number.
All right, movie number 1. Let's take a look. I gotta get close because it's far away from me. So, all right, okay. Now, is this a frame from the movie? Is that what I'm supposed to believe?
Number 1, here is the first.
All right, so far, I'm not gonna lie to you. Doesn't strike me. Doesn't strike me. What do we got?
Frame.
All right.
Here is the second frame.
Don't know.
And actually, this is one of my all-time favorite actors. Here is the third. Maybe you recognize this creepy guy, but if not, here is a final giveaway frame.
Well, that's Timothy Chalamet. I don't know what this film is. I haven't seen it.
Did you get it?
Star Wars. It's Star Wars. Yeah. That's right. It's Star Wars. Oh, you know what? The clues weren't all there at first, but after a little bit of deciphering, a little bit of detective work, Star Wars.
It was Bones and All, directed by Luca Guadagnino from 2022. How can you not be in love with this movie? It's
Well, you didn't see it for one. That's me. I didn't see it, so I couldn't be in love with something that I didn't see.
filled with just
What the fuck are you doing on the couch, bro? Really? He's not allowed up there, but he just does it anyway because he knows that I can't do anything. I'm no Hassan Piker. I can't shock a dog. I'm sorry. I'm not a monster.
about everything. It is a love story. It is gut-wrenching. It is very unnerving, and it truly moved me personally. All right, moving on to movie number 2. Here is the first frame.
Nah, that would be Jaws. Jaws. That's Jaws. That's easy enough. Come on now. Let's pick hard ones next time, eh?
And I feel like this frame could be from like hundreds of movies.
Like
so
Jaws.
here is the second.
What did I say? Jaws. 100%.
I think these faces will look familiar to a lot of people.
Jaws.
If you need more help, here is the third. And the
we
color
are
red plays a huge part in this movie. And if you're almost there, here is the giveaway frame.
Ah, shit. Jaws 2. Jaws 2, I apologize.
Did you get it this time? It was Submarine, directed by Richard Ayoade.
Really? He did that? Okay.
From 2010. This is such a nostalgic coming-of-age movie for me. It follows Oliver, who is a Welsh teenager trying to lose his virginity and also trying to hold his parents' relationship together. The soundtrack was done by Alex Turner, who delivers such a moody, melancholic feel that captures the essence of the movie perfectly. Give it a watch if you haven't seen it, and let me know in the comments how you did.
I came here to kick ass and drink milk, and I'm all out of milk. It's my best Richard Ayoade impression. Sorry, I apologize.
Was this the most influential show ever made that itself was not a monster hit?
I think so. I think so. I think that's a very valid statement to make. So spoiler alert, big Mystery Science Theater 3000 fan here, big Riff Tracks fan. The Riff Tracks guys are going back to do 4 new episodes of Mystery Science Theater specifically, and I am super stoked for it. They made $2 million in 2 weeks. So the guys are all coming back here, just as was original with the Satellite of Love. Trace is designing the sets and whatnot. It's going to be a really good time. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with it. And I think they're, Sean said it in our text group. He's like, Joel Hodgson's probably rolling over in his grave. I think Joel's happy with it, more or less, I would say. But I think there will be something that's deep down inside him that says, oh, they're going to be successful where we weren't. And I think part of it is writing. Yes, part of it certainly is writing. But also part of it is the performances and stuff like that. And I really think that there is something about, about Mike and Kevin and depending upon how, which servo you want or which crow you want. I think there's something about, Kevin, Trace, and everybody in there. It's just, and they're even bringing back Mary Jo and stuff like that. So it's going to be a really good time, I think.
Like, I don't doubt that Seinfeld was a bigger influence, but it made billions of dollars.
Sure.
Nobody got rich off of Mystery Science Theater 3000.
No, they did not.
And yet, I'm going to guess that basically every single comedy writer over a certain age was absolutely obsessed with this show back in the 90s.
The best part about MST3K is that it was a show for smart people. Even though it could be a show for dumb people, they were just referencing things and it was just smart. There were just these great smart jokes. They were there all the time. And if you didn't get one, it's okay. Another joke was right around the corner. But if you did get a joke, and especially if you got one that was a very niche kind of joke, you felt like you were a genius, dude. You were just like, yeah, we're all on that same kind of wavelength and everything, man. It made total sense.
Meanwhile, the show itself was constantly under the threat of cancellation. It actually did get canceled at least once. And none of the people involved went on to become Hollywood superstars, as far as I know. But fans of this show would go on to absolutely dominate the early internet and help shape what that entire landscape looks like. And that's the crazy thing. If you tried to show an episode to a kid in high school now, I think they would say, so what? It's another React video.
Yeah, exactly. They'd be like, so what's big about this?
It's 3 comedians watching an old bad movie and making fun of it, right?
It's just like Asmongold. Oh, and look at the devil. We talked about the devil, Hassan Piker, right there. Son of a bitch showing up in my fucking stream. I didn't ask for you. I'll take Asmongold or XQC, but you can fucking keep Hassan Piker, damn it.
They would say that's 90% of the stuff I watch. It's just guys on Twitch and YouTube and elsewhere just watching clips and talking about them. But not only was this groundbreaking...
It's what you're doing right now. Don't think that I don't know what I'm doing is very akin to what they were doing. And this is essentially... Now, granted, with the MS3K guys and stuff, they're all writing these jokes. None of my jokes are written, as you can tell from the quality of them. But I'm just yapping. But essentially mine is kind of like this freeform jazz version of what those guys did, is see some stuff, make some stupid, funny quips, and hopefully be entertaining to people. Yeah, so, huge influence on me.
When they did it, but they didn't just watch it live and react. They would spend a week with each of these films, writing jokes to go into every single silent moment and pause. They would go in with an incredibly detailed script, creating this perfect clockwork machine of comedy. And it was absolutely...
You're the KTMA MST3K, Adam. I'm not that low budget. Come on. And I got more jokes than that. There are did you ever see the really early pilot almost episodes of that where it is just like joke? Unbelievable amount of time, then another joke. It's bad. It's the one where Gypsy doesn't even talk. Like a Gypsy, or it has an even worse voice. I don't know. It's real bad. I'm sorry, Joel. Mike was taking over the show long before you left it, ever since he became the head writer.
Be wild for fans to see 10 years after this show was canceled how early YouTube would be full of guys trying to recreate this for themselves, including doing the costumes and skits in between the commentary.
Yeah, if you don't think Angry Nerd Video Game Guy was down with this, you'd be wrong.
Specifically imitating the low-rent aesthetic of Mystery Science Theater 3000 with props that look like somebody made them in their garage. When I watched this show at the time, I thought all of these guys were going to go on to be on Saturday Night Live or host the Tonight Show. They
were too Midwest.
Didn't go on to become Hollywood stars, and I don't think they really tried to do that. When the show finally got canceled in 1998 or so, they all just took to the internet to keep trying to do versions of it. As I speak, they're
Look at that, over $2 million right now.
Trying to do a Kickstarter to do 4 more episodes of MST3K, and they've already raised $2.2 million or so. Out here competing in a landscape of YouTubers and podcasters that they basically raised.
It's great, man. It's great. I'm excited for it. I mean, and Riff Tracks has now been around for like, twice as long as MST3K has. And like, you know, Kevin, Mike, and Bill have really kind of put their stamp on, you know, the medium of kind of riffing and stuff like that. They've really done it. And because when you see like Cinematic Titanic and stuff like that, it's just not as good. It's just not.
I would say Jay Pharoah is the greatest impersonator alive.
What do you think about this? I stopped this right here and I wanted to bring it to you guys. I think Jay Pharoah is good. I don't know if he is amazing. I don't know. What do you guys think?
It's crazy. It's like there's someone on the X-Men, like if they touch
Rogue.
They absorb your powers. Like
Yeah.
that's what he has.
That's funny. Lauren's like, shake hands with Jay. We're going to need him. And he's
We gave him velvet gloves. Be gentle.
He takes his gloves
and
off.
Lauren
he's like-
shaves his head. Lauren is Professor X.
He
Who are
really
we
is.
kidding? Yeah.
100%.
That
He's
billion% makes me
He is
Beast
a-
or Blob.
No, he really is Professor X. He just
is.
shows up in a small Indiana town and he's like, I heard you can do a perfect impression. Show me your powers.
He's completely uncontrollable, but I know how to do it.
I understand. He's going to turn dark and then he'll go to Magneto. That's Mag TV. That's what he is.
That shit's hilarious. I was a fan of Mad TV. Now, granted, once you know SNL turned on, you usually kind of kicked out the last half of Mad TV, but they usually put the crap towards the end of that anyhow.
Magneto and the Dark Forces in Mag TV.
We call them the New Mutants.
See, that tells you right there. Mr. Bob Moynihan's he's a real nerd.
Oh, this is my new favorite bit.
I read your mind. You've got a lot of dad stuff. You're going to fit in perfect.
We're thinking about pairing you with Nightcrawler for a movie. I don't know if it'll work, but you know what? It's a summer.
A lot of people thought Tina was my Jubilee, and I proved them wrong.
All right, that's just pretty good. Pretty good on them references, boy.
So I finally got to watch Good Times. I'm on a
I love Good Times, even though Good Times is not good times. It, in fact, is mostly bad times in that film. I think the title is ironic.
Softy binge right now. The month of March is Softy. I had basically a double feature today with Good Times and Uncut Gems.
Woo!
And man,
What a nerve-wracking day you must have had, sir. Wow.
I really mess with these dudes, like in terms of like the way they make their movies, like I really mess with it. The use of music is excellent, very contemplative, and it just there's something about the scene that just or the movie that just gives it that gravitas, I guess. But basically, they're two brothers that are criminals. They rob a bank. One has special needs, and it doesn't go well,
And you will, like, if you didn't know any better, like at the time, and I didn't, I was just like, oh, we got Robert Pattinson, and the guy who's playing his brother is clearly somebody with special needs. Nope. It was the other director.
The
He was
special-
really good though. I was convinced that was. I was just like, man, how'd y'all get that special needs guy to give that amazing performance? Well, turns out it was just a regular dude. He just kind of looks funny.
Needs brother pretty much gets caught and has to go to pretty much is in jail and gets processed. They learn he's special needs, and so they handle his case a little differently. And it's I don't want to say too much. I do want to tell you to go ahead and watch it, but there's a lot of like 80s nostalgia vibe with this movie in
Good
particular.
soundtrack.
Like look at that. Doesn't that feel like 80s? Like the way Pepsi used to look and stuff. But man, this movie is a banger from beginning to end. I mean, just the intensity of it. And man, Robert Pattinson really did his thing. I was never like a huge Robert Pattinson fan. Like, you know, I knew about him because of, you know, Twilight, and then later learned he was in the Harry Potter movies. But man, I got to watch more of his stuff. This dude is a beast. Like, yeah.
Man, the Cedric Diggory File would have been one of the best spinoffs for fucking HBO. Man, dang old, they had to kill him, man.
This dude had swagger in this movie, man. He was not like anything I'd ever seen, and probably one of my favorite roles of his. Straight up. Anyways, if you have seen this movie.
Well, if you like that one, I would definitely suggest you check out Robert Pattinson in a sci-fi movie we covered on HMP not too awful long ago called High Life. It's a good flick.
Let me know what you think about Good Times in the comments below. Let's talk about this, guys. All right. Anyways, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, deuces.
What's next?
Y'all, I watched Goodfellas for the first time yesterday, and that shit was peak.
Whew. Okay. Thank God. As we have always said on TikTok Trash Tuesdays, we are happy when people finally see films. You can't look at somebody and be like, you've never seen Godfather, you know, or Goodfellas, or, you know, insert movie here. You got to want those people to see that movie. You should encourage them to see the movie. Imagine, you know, if you saw Jaws again for the very first time, how you would feel, especially if you saw it on the big screen. But man, enjoy that time, man. Find out, get a classic and watch it, and just, you know, enjoy something for the very first time. Let's see how this guy made out with Goodfellas. Now, if he's anything like my buddy Brian, who I call Corn Dog, I've called him Corn Dog since the 7th grade. We sat Corn Dog down once, somewhere in the, I'm going to say 2005, 6-ish range, somewhere in that. No, I'm gonna say it's right around 2006. He had not seen Goodfellas. We sat him down. We watched Goodfellas. He loved it. And at the end of it, he said this phrase during the credits. That reminded me a lot of The Sopranos. I said, sir, no. The Sopranos will remind you of Goodfellas. They took from this. What are you even on about? So I wonder how this movie could strike this young man, because he has seen so much media. My guess is he's seen a lot of things out there, and Goodfellas is something that almost has become really part of the lexicon. Everything from like your long tracking shots to the "you talking to me," or the, you know, how do you, not you talking to me, but do you think I'm funny lines, all that kind of good stuff. It's become so ubiquitous within the culture itself. How does he then approach that? Or does that stuff even, you know, reach guys of this age? I don't know.
Y'all fucking say, bro. And I know y'all gonna say the shit been out for 35, 36 years. Why the fuck you wait so long to watch it?
Exactly.
You feel me? I'm just not getting tapped into Martin Scorsese films, y'all. Feel me? The Wolf of Wall Street is probably his only film I've watched in its entirety. And that was an amazing film. But his list of movies, I gotta go down. I've also watched The Departed recently too. I'm gonna make a whole separate video about The Departed. But when it comes to Goodfellas, that shit was phenomenal.
Okay. Again, he's got me on a ledge here, right? Because like he's getting to the moment where it's just like, I don't know if I fuck with Scorsese. And it's just like, I love this movie's phenomenal. Like, okay, all right. You got me on edge there, my man.
Bruh, it was a classic mafia gangster old school type movie. Ray Liotta, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci killed it, bro. Y'all heard it a million times. Y'all gonna hear it from another motherfucker. Y'all killed it. Feel me? All the supporting actors too. And the fact that I've watched The Sopranos, I'm on the last season of The Sopranos. Don't hate me, I'm saving it. There's so many actors from The Sopranos in Goodfellas. And
right, because they were like, they did it so well here, come back to our thing and do it. Ay.
Other mafia movies too that I did not realize, like Tony Sirico, Christopher that played, you feel me, Chris in The Sopranos. He played Spider, you feel me, the therapist. She's Henry Hill's wife. Like, what the fuck? But phenomenal fucking movie, y'all. Like, I know I've seen scenes from it before, like the Joe Pesci improv scene. What makes me so fucking funny? That scene, that shit was hard. And then a couple scenes when Ray Liotta and Robert De Niro was in a car, and dog, phenomenal fucking movie. I know I keep saying it, but it was a great fucking movie. And I'm glad that I waited until I was older to really watch it, because as a grown man, you get to relate. Even though I'm not Italian, never knew anybody in the mob, shit like that. But you, as a grown man, you get to relate to how they go through shit, their relationships, how they move throughout the movie, the way they talk, the way they walk.
This is what I tell people all the time. This gentleman watched this movie. These people that are represented in the movie are nothing like him. They are from a different cultural background. They were from a different time period than him. He's got nothing in common with these people. But the movie was done so well that he could see himself. He could see a relationship between the movie and himself, albeit an abstract one. He saw it and said, I can see a reflection of me or the situation around me, how the world is, how things work. As he said, things of being, a man, stuff like that, because that all comes into play with this. Seeing this stuff is important, and understanding that that's what's being shown to you is also important. I'm glad that he sees this, and he's absolutely correct that, like, it's good to see these things at an older age. And if you haven't, I would say if you haven't seen them in a while, go back and watch some of those ones that you might have seen as, when you were younger. The context that you might have now may change your entire experience with the movie. You never know.
It's a lot more relatable to a grown man than a kid, you feel me? And another thing, bro, like, if you know Tommy DeVito's death that shit was predictable, bro. Like, if you know anything about mafia standards, mafia rules, this man was wilding, bro. Especially for just an affiliate and not a made man at the time. You knew when push come to shove, bro. You killing the made man, that shit ain't going unanswered, brother.
Yeah, but he was talking some mad shit, and eventually, man can only take so much.
But yeah, phenomenal fucking movie. I'm definitely gonna watch it again in probably a couple months. I gotta go on I gotta go watch a couple more movies. Casino is next. I think Carlito's Way. I watched The Bronx Tale already. Also a great movie. But yeah, I got a lot of them to watch. Casino definitely gonna be the next one, and I'm gonna be dropping a video about The Departed soon. Great fucking movie, for shit show.
And I think
I should have put something in between there. But yeah, man, I'm so happy when people get to see movies for the first time and stuff, and really get to enjoy it, because it's always going to be somebody's first time, man. Let people enjoy stuff instead of shaming and blaming and going like, what the hell is wrong with you? Look at it and just be like, can I watch this movie with you? I want to see it through your eyes. We've seen those videos on the internet of like people like like kids seeing the twists and stuff in like The Sixth Sense and Star Wars and all kinds of stuff where, watching movies through other people's eyes can be a really awesome thing, man. So, enjoy those first viewings of classic films, man. Horror isn't that deep. Meanwhile, Wes Craven.
A lot of the people that think horror films are evil and that horror film directors are evil and dangerous and whatever are people that do not recognize that or will not admit to that in themselves, and so have to push it towards people outside of themselves so that they can then look down on and feel safe about what's inside themselves. And I think those are the dangerous people, really. Those are the people.
And that's one of the things that you would hear about Wes Craven all the time is that, like, certainly I thought of him when I was a kid. I was just like, who is this crazy madman and everything who's making these crazy films? And then when you finally see interviews and stuff with him, he's a teddy bear. He's just a nice guy. You hear every single, you never think anything spooky's coming out of this dude. He's almost anti-spooky. He's almost just like a nice grandpa. Wes was a great guy. He made some great messed up movies and stuff like that. But man, oh man, one of the best.
Bullet can snap and, climb the tower with a rifle.
I always found it an irony that, the same people that would support a war or, live a lifestyle that would require entire third world countries to be put in near slavery would at the same time be appalled by somebody that did something that was only effective within a certain closed, dark room called a movie house.
People often ask me, why do people want to go and be scared? And my answer is that people don't want to go and be scared. They are scared.
Quite often my audiences are the outcasts, the kids with the long hair and blacks and Hispanics and people that society thinks, discounts. And they're quite often the absolute quickest to grasp what I'm doing.
It's very true. And if you look at Wes's films and stuff like that, he ended up, just putting a decent fair amount of different types of people in films and stuff like that. I mean, think of Serpent and Rainbow and think of The People Under the Stairs and stuff like that. He was doing more than just your standard crap,
Faster than the civilized critics and people that supposedly are supposed to have heads on their shoulders.
So it's interesting to me that we have such a resistance in some ways to immigration and immigrants in the United States because they bring in this enormous amount of energy and richness of other cultures. In my mind, part of a sort of a Republican way of looking at the world, very paternalistic, lots of guns, and thinking of the minorities as kind of dirty and stupider. Price of that.
I won't be touching political topics because I'll get yelled at.
And how important it is to try to get our mind outside of that paradigm and look at everybody as a potential resource for building our own humanity. My theory is
that's how humanity has worked since the dawn of time, by the way, but that's okay.
Is that when you do a horror film, it's almost like you construct a very complex character that has all sorts of things hanging off of him or her. The past and what mom thought and what their friends think you should do and everything else. And one by one, you kill them. And you get rid of it until you end up with this core persona, the hero or the heroine, that knows exactly what's going on, still has goodness, but is able to kick ass and take names and stays awake. And that's what it's all about.
I feel very much like the real stakes that are going on in the planet, insofar as humankind is concerned, is consciousness. Are we going to be awake or are we going to be asleep? And the only way to
we're always going to be asleep. Wes, I hate to tell you, he's gone here and he isn't going to be able to see it, but we're always going to be asleep because it's easier. It's always easier.
To get rid of the boogeyman is to stay awake. And my feeling was it's time to stop dreaming. And I guess that's become the theme of my entire work. It's time to wake up.
Okay.
The Fast and the Furious movies in Japan have a different name. It's called Wild Speed. The first movie...
I mean, we got some crazy names for all the Fast and Furious movies and stuff like that. Could they get crazier? They just might.
Fast and Furious is called Wild Speed. Then it's Wild Speed X2. Then
X2. Okay.
It's Wild Speed X3 Tokyo Drift. Wild Speed Max.
Okay, all right. So at least at least they are falling under the same stupid, dumbass problems that we are. So it's nice to know that the problem is spread worldwide.
Wild Speed Mega Max, and then 6 is Wild Speed Euro Mission, and 7 is Wild Speed Sky Mission, Wild Speed Ice Break, and then Hobbs and Shaw is called Wild Speed Super Combo. Fast and Furious 9 is called Wild Speed Jet Break, and then Fast and Furious X, or Fast X, is called Wild Speed Fire Boost. It fucking rules.
Very Japanese names. Wild Speed X2 Fun Time Happy Hour.
The most depressing film franchise is The Matrix, in my opinion.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. I don't know what angle he's going from, but like the first movie, undeniable, man. When Neo flies off at the end there, and the Rage Against the Machine comes on, and the lights go up, you were like, "What the hell have we even just seen?" And if they had stopped from that point on, you had one of the best sci-fi movies of all time. But you couldn't leave well enough alone. We had to go do 2 and 3, which were not awful. They're not the worst things in the world. They're not great. We covered them on Patreon during the pandemic and everything. So if you want to go down to patreon.com/HMP, join up at any level. You can scroll all the way back to the pandemic era, and we're reviewing all the Matrix movies and stuff like that. So those are good episodes, but I'm not going to say that we had the best of time.
They are making a 5th film in the franchise, even though Part 4 did not go down very well.
Yeah, Part 4 sucked. As bad as Parts 2 and 3 were, Part 4 was even worse. Part 4 was a stinky McStinkerson. I hated that movie. Maybe didn't hate. Hate might be a strong word. I highly disliked that movie. It wasn't good. The magic was not there. It's over. And now we're trying to do yet another one. What a mistake.
This time they were doing it without the Wachowskis. And ultimately, it's because it's the studio that decides whether or not a franchise goes on, not the...
I think people need to realize this at the end of the day. It's like, if the studio owns it, and in this case they do, and in most cases they end up owning it, and they want to do something with it, and you don't, tough nuggets.
Creators. But in fact, all of the sequels have met with some backlash from the fans. The way the original film was structured, it kind of required them to undo some of their own lore in order to keep the franchise going. But you can say that about a lot of film franchises. I mean, everybody regards the film Jaws as a masterpiece, even though it had many sequels that were...
Yeah, it is. You don't have to worry about those other Jaws films. Jaws just exists. And we can treat the Matrix the same way as well, you know. And as far as I'm concerned, it still is. Like I've still got a framed Matrix poster that I bought all the way back in 2002 or 3. I got it framed up, and I still got it. And you know, how's it going back there, pal?
All terrible. But what sets The Matrix apart is that the original 1990 film had such a profound impact on the culture that it permanently changed the language. But the people who adopted that language were some of the worst people in the world. The concept of taking the red pill would get adopted by basically every hate group on the internet.
Yeah, but like, you know, you can't control who takes your stuff.
To the point that nobody else can use it. They have totally co-opted the idea.
I think that's a stupid statement to make. I don't like when we make, you know, blanketed statements like that. It's like, well, no one else can say this now. It's like, I don't think so.
And even worse, if you hear people online talking about how the Matrix is real and you need to break out of your mind prison, you can bet that they're immediately going to start talking about how aliens built the pyramids. It became associated with people saying, don't trust what the mainstream media tells you.
You shouldn't. I used to work for media. Trust me. Don't believe in what the media tells you. If you think that you can believe the people who are paid by advertisers that to tell you the truth all the time, you're a ding dong. You're stupid if you think that people that are paid by other people. No, that's not how that works. That's so stupid.
The people who insist that science is real. And that is too bad, because I honestly believe that the symbolism of this film, even though it is just a silly action movie, is legitimately important. Of just being aware that there are lots of things in society that are designed to kind of shape your behavior without you being aware of it.
Though we are constantly bombarded with those things, that's correct.
That it sets these invisible boundaries on what you're allowed to think and what kind of life you're allowed to lead.
Gonna leave that alone.
And that truly understanding who you are as an individual requires you to have a keen awareness of how society has shaped you.
What does that mean?
The Matrix cannot tell you who you are.
In the metaphor of people who believe they are functioning in a
What is he talking into here? Is that a baguette? Because it looks like it could be.
society when in reality they are separated in pods and are totally powerless to actually affect anything. It's incredible that this predates social media and the concept of social media bubbles and algorithms that shape each person's reality. Of having these platforms where we come on and engage in fake fights that don't actually affect anything.
Listen, I gotta say, Jason, this is a great kind of parallel here. I like the juxtaposition that this is kind of like, their own little trapped world here, that they're arguing, they're fighting, they're doing all of these things, but yet that's not making a difference. I like it.
People who think they're doing activism just by reposting memes. If anything, their metaphor was about 10 to 15 years too early. And it really does seem like it's only going to get more relevant as time goes on. You have to understand that in the decades leading up to that film, we had lots of movies about robots taking over the world. And it was The Matrix that was saying it doesn't have to look like that. That you can have a system that sucks the humanity out of you just by drowning you in shallow comforts. And that any really profound change to that system would mean giving up those comforts.
That's what I keep trying to tell people. Everybody likes to complain about things, but trust me, if some of those complaints got rectified and we lost out on certain things, there'd be some jawing. There'd be some jawing. That's all I'm saying.
A crowd-pleasing action film that can sneak an important idea into the public consciousness is not a small thing. I think the original film from 1999 was a legitimately powerful idea packaged in a way that any average person could understand it. But in the past 25 years, it just seems like the studio has continued to try to squeeze more and more money out of the franchise, while the ideas themselves have gotten co-opted by cranks.
Yeah, it's a lose-lose for everybody. So again, you should have taken your one movie and take your ball and go home. But we want too much. We're greedy little piggies these days, and we got to have what we got to have.
Can you guess the horror movie from these clues?
Okay, we're back again, everybody. Let's see how bad I screw it up this time.
Welcome back to What Is It Wednesday, the horror movie trivia game where I give you 6 clues to guess the horror movie, with the first clue being as vague as possible.
Now, I want everybody to know, as you will see, because I'll probably screw this up and it'll all look terrible. I don't watch these videos. I don't get this far.
And the last clue pretty much gives it away. Rules are simple. Don't cheat. Don't forget to pause the video after every clue for a chance to answer.
All right, here we go. You guys know the rules. Let's give it a shot here. I'm going to make the screen bigger for myself so I can kind of see. Here we go.
With that said, let's get started. Here's your first clue. The director of this film originally wanted this movie to be in black and white. The Blu-ray release of this movie does have that black and white version.
Okay. He said horror. I'm just going to take a quick stab at the one clue. See if I can get it right. See if I can hit a homer with this one. I don't know. I'm going to say Nightmare Alley. Guillermo del Toro's Nightmare Alley.
Clue number 2. The exterior scenes were shot in Shreveport, Louisiana, but were convincing enough to look like they were shot in New England. Clue
Now, to be fair, I never saw that film, so I don't know anything about it. So,
Clue number 3. The director of this movie also developed a television series for The Walking Dead.
All right, so it's not that. So it's Frank Darabont. Oh, it's The Mist. Okay, there you go. All right, all right, that's The Mist.
Clue number 4. The video game Half-Life was inspired by the novella, which would eventually get adapted into this film. Clue number 5. Stephen King says that he was genuinely frightened by this adaptation of his novella, which Frank Darabont, the director, said was one of the happiest moments of his career. Your 6th and final clue. This film was released in 2007 and has the initials TM.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Oh, wait a minute.
One of the craziest endings of all time. You guys know it. The correct answer is The Mist. If you said The Mist, go to the comments. Let me know what clue you got it on.
The Mist. The Mist tells us that, just be patient. You should just be patient. But again, Stephen King himself also goes, that ending, better than my ending. And he's correct.
Top 5 movies I would like to show to an Amish man.
I stopped it right there. I'm like, what do you show an Amish person? Amish person who we assume would never seen any kind of media like this before. I'm thinking like, I feel like Star Wars. I feel like you got to show them like sci-fi kind of stuff, things that'll kind of freak them out like that. I don't know. Let's see what this guy says.
Number 5, Yamazaki's masterpiece, Godzilla -1.
It's an interesting way to start, but okay, let's hear him. I love the movie.
I would show this to the Amish man because he probably has never seen Japanese people before. And
he doesn't have the internet. He doesn't not have books.
I would like to be there with him for his first time. And if he's
he's just watching his face going, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Yeah, he looks different than you. What do you think? I'm just trying to gauge your interest. What do you think of the Japanese man on the television?
frightened by Godzilla, I'm there to comfort him. Number 4, Grogan's masterpiece Unabomber in his own words, the Ted Kaczynski story. I'd show it to him and say, this was another man who lived in the woods and hated technology. It is a fine line that you must walk carefully, Mordecai. Number 3, Asbury and Cook's masterpiece Spirit, Stallion
of the Cimarron.
Of the Cimarron. I would show this to him because I don't know if he's ever seen animation before, and I'd want him to watch one with his good buddy the horse in it. And he could see what they are truly capable of, so much more than pulling a wagon. Number 2, the Lee masterpiece Brokeback Mountain. I'd show him this because 60s Wyoming is probably pretty similar to how he lives. And halfway through the movie, I'd gently place my hand on his leg, because at this point, I think I'd have a small crush on him. I don't know if it's all the movies or his old-fashioned nature, but I want to see what the vibe is. Number 1, the Cameron masterpiece, The Terminator. We watched Brokeback Mountain. It went very well. He's been staying with me for several days. He loves it. He told me he wants to live here forever. Well, this was more of an experimental thing for me, and it's time for you to go home. Here's a movie about how bad technology is. You were right all along. Goodbye, Mordecai. I'll never forget the time we shared.
Hey! That's not the worst. That's not the worst playlist that you can have with an Amish man, I think. I don't think. Yeah, go right on, man.
He's probably thinking about other women.
When Miss Piggy gets angry, is that a whole new puppet, or do they just change the eyes?
Listen, ladies, it's what we think about, okay? We can't help it. We can't help it. Some of us want to focus on the more important things in life.
I've watched A Nightmare on Elm Street 4, The Dream Master, at least 100 times, and
that is a lot of times to watch a really crappy movie, and because number 4 is bad. 4 is bad.
somehow just noticed this. It's Freddy Friday, and today I want to talk about something in this movie that finally clicked with me after all these years. Quick refresher. The film picks up after A Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors with 3 survivors left, Kristen, Joey, and Kincaid. Kristen believes Freddy is coming back, and she's right. As the last of the Elm Street children, Freddy needs her because Kristen has the ability to pull people into her dreams, and that ability becomes the bridge that lets Freddy reach new victims. In a state of panic, Kristen calls upon her friend Alice. When Freddy offs Kristen, her last words to Alice are, "You'll need my power." A glowing ball of energy then transfers through Freddy into Alice, and from that moment on, something interesting starts happening.
Is that what we would call it? I wouldn't call it that, but okay.
While Freddy takes their souls, Alice begins absorbing pieces of who they were. Let's go in chronological order for the impact. First are the remaining Dream Warriors, Joey and Kincaid. Alice didn't really know them, but her connection to them was Kristen. So it seems Kristen absorbed part of their abilities and passed them on to Alice too. Alice shows Kincaid's toughness in the film, his confidence and attitude. She even says his phrase, "fucking A." Fucking A. But Joey dies too, and for years I wondered, where does Joey's power go? Hold that thought. After Kristen dies, Alice also inherits more than just her ability to bring people into her dreams. She picks up Kristen's gymnastics ability from the previous film.
Whenever we just be bringing gymnastics into films, I'm always going like, what are we even talking about?
And even the smoking habit Alice never had before. I don't smoke. Then when Sheila,
especially with a match,
Sheila dies, Alice suddenly shows a sharper intelligence and that whole mind over matter mentality that Sheila talked about.
Mind over matter. This is it. Mind over matter.
When her brother Rick dies, Alice inherits his martial arts ability.
Because it was the 80s, man. We still had nunchucks everywhere because you had to.
And unfortunately, a pretty questionable wig. And when Debbie dies, Alice gains that tougher, don't mess with me energy.
Here, it's a good luck charm. Brings bad luck to the creep you flatten with it.
It's subtle, but Brooke Thies, who played Debbie, actually has talked about that being the piece that Alice gets from her. So Alice slowly becomes this combination of all of them, but we still have that question, where does Joey's power go?
You remember those amalgamation comics from back in the day where they got DC and Marvel and they just kind of smashed the characters together and it's like, here's Wolverine, Batman.
Do we see it at all? And it finally clicked. After Rick dies, Alice wakes up in class, slams her hands on the desk, screams, "No!" and the classroom windows shatter, which mirrors the exact moment at the end of Dream Warriors when Joey screams no and shatters the Hall of Mirrors. Joey's dream power was his voice, and now Alice has that too, which means by the end of the film, they're all there. And it's that combination, along with Alice's role as the Dream Master, that finally gives her the strength to defeat Freddy. Did anyone else notice this before, or did this just click for you too?
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. She makes a very interesting point. It's been a minute since I've seen Nightmare on Elm Street 4, and I feel like I might want to go back and watch that. Just, we'll give it another shot. And this lady looks vaguely like my ex-wife.
And what's a detail in the Elm Street franchise you only caught on a rewatch?
What's next?
There is something very annoying that I see creators do on here, and I want to talk about it.
I do too, and this isn't movie related, but this is content related, and I don't know what you know about me, but I got some thoughts.
If you browse for just a few minutes on Reels or TikTok or YouTube Shorts, you will see somebody do it. You will see somebody take a microphone that was clearly intended to be pinned to a shirt and hold it right up to their mouth.
And I ask you, what is wrong with you? Why are you broken? Why do you not understand how things are designed? Why are you such a moron? Pin that shit on your shirt, you fucking idiot. If you want to hold it, put it in a fucking mic stand and talk into it. Don't hold it in your hands like a dainty little idiot. What is wrong with you people? Get it together. I hate you people so much. Attach it to your shirt or don't fucking use it. God.
Well, there's a reason why we do this, and the reason is actually fairly interesting.
People are dumb. That's why they do it. They're dumb.
On iPhone, I can't speak for Android, there is no control to turn up the volume of a microphone or the sensitivity or gain, as we say in the biz. They delegate such controls to the apps themselves, and in the apps where you make these videos, like TikTok or
Maybe if you guys didn't buy $2 mics, I don't know. Is that the reason why? Is that also the reason why I got to turn up every fucking video that is made with CapCut or whatever? Because the output on the video itself is ungodly low. And then all of a sudden at the end, which I cut out, you're welcome. The bloop at the end of that shit every time, I cut it out for your pleasure. You're welcome. You guys got to stop buying shitty microphones or something. I'm telling you, this goes into the phone. This little guy goes into the bottom of the phone. This little guy magnetically attaches to my shirt. And that's how you do it. Or you put it inside of this thing and then you talk into it like that. Why? If you're holding it like this, you're a dickhead. And if you're doing it because you're like, oh, the volume's not loud enough, you have a piece of shit microphone, I guess.
For Reels, there also is no knob to turn up the volume of your microphone. And for some reason, the default volume is very, very quiet.
Because you bought a $30 microphone or $30 or less microphone.
Quiet that if I put this microphone down on my shirt where it belongs, it would be very difficult to hear me.
No. Let's hear it.
Now, it is true that in the TikTok app, there is this slider to turn up the volume.
What? You mean in an editing thing, you can actually adjust the volume up and down of stuff, Jason? Don't tell me.
Of your voice while you're editing, but this slider, if you turn it up to the max, increases the volume by like 3%. In Reels, you can't increase it at all. This is what it looks like when you access it. It says what you recorded, that was the max. You can only make it quieter.
Jason, you got some money. Spend $100 on a fucking microphone, my mans. Spend $150 on a microphone and save your life. Stop buying shit, people. You buy shitty $30 or less microphones from TikTok and you go, why does this sound like ass? I don't know. You paid $30 for a piece of electronics from China? If you paid them $30, I promise you it costs $2 fucking to make.
And for some reason, when iOS updated to 26, external microphone volume was cut in half or lower. The only way to get sound that is normally
every single fucking TikTok that you've ever heard me make, I've made with this thing on. I don't adjust the volume at all. It's dead ass nothing. I'm on an iPhone. Y'all buy shitty mics.
Equalized with the other stuff you are hearing on your phone is to take the microphone and hold it 1 inch from your mouth. It is very annoying.
No. Sorry. All of this truly came before even all of that. It came from assholes like Straw Hat Goofy, who had his iPhone thing, and it was just like the mic is supposed to dangle from here. It's designed to dangle from here, but he had to hold it up like this, and he was doing this shit the entire time. And every fucking dickhead on the internet decided to mimic that and just and really spawn one of the worst trends in all of video history. This holding it shit.
No, it doesn't matter what brand microphone you use.
Hollywoodland. It's a perfectly fine microphone. I encounter zero of these problems. Jason, you are buying shitty cheap microphones.
Own every major brand of microphone. I have spent thousands of dollars on microphones. For some reason, these apps are not set up to let you use the microphone the way you're supposed to. If anybody knows why, let me know.
You're buying shitty cheap mics. I don't know what to tell you. That's really the only thing that I can understand. I will again go watch the TikTok that I made promoting this video. The thing's right here. It's right here, and it sounds just as if I'm talking through this mic right here. It's the same shit. Why is it so difficult for the rest of you?
I'm currently participating in something called Oops All Goalies. It is essentially a hockey game, except, oops, all goalies. I have never been surrounded by so many goalies before in my life. And all I can say is that the energy is strange. It's weird out here.
That was supposed to be, I sent that one to the boys because I just thought that was a funny clip, and it got into TikTok Trash Tuesday on accident. That was not movie related, but you know, you got to laugh. You're welcome. Give me 2 seconds. I am like, I got 12 people in here. All right, I'm going to keep going. It's hot as hell, and I'm going to get step outside for a hot second here just to cool off and walk this dog. But let's do 2 more since we got a couple people in the house.
Guys, here are 10 more horror titles that I think every horror collector should have in their collection.
All right, every horror collector should have these in their collection. I am a collector. I have some horror films. Let's see if I have these. Chances are I don't.
Especially if you were just starting out your collection. At number 10, we have 2008's mockumentary, Lake Mungo. At number
Lake Mungo. All right. These are your must-haves? Okay.
Number 9, we've got this insane film from 1981, Possession. At
Why are you covering up the box, my man? All right, Possession's a good one. Possession's a nice one. I've spoken on that on the podcast previous.
Number 8, we have a John Carpenter film from 1994, and that's going to be his film, In the Mouth of Madness.
That's a good one. That's a good one. You got the little arrow video there and everything. Lovely.
Next, from 1978, we have this cult classic right here, and that's got to go to Phantasm.
Very nice. Phantasm, I could recommend.
Next, at number 6, we have a film from 1981. No, it's not An American Werewolf in London. It's actually going to be Joe Dante's The Howling.
I'm An American Werewolf in London over The Howling. I don't know how you guys feel.
Moving on to number 5 from 19...
Lake Mungo's a good watch. Good. I mean, it's just, it seems weird for a quick horror top 10.
70, we have a film from Tobe Hooper. It's actually a miniseries, and that's going to be Salem's Lot. At number 4, guys, from 2005, we have this very claustrophobic type movie from Neil Marshall, and that's going to be The Descent. At number 3, guys, from
I never made it through The Descent. I got bored, and I think the maybe it was on DVD or something like that I was watching. It looked like ass, and I was just like, I can't watch this.
2007, we have this Halloween staple that I think must be watched every year, and that's going to be Trick or Treat. And number 2.
Again, that was another one that like everybody liked, but like I couldn't get into it. I never really.
We have a film from 2004 that kicked off a whole subgenre of horror and an entire franchise. That's going to be James Wan's Saw. And
I like Saw. I like the Saw films. I know a lot of people don't.
And at number 1 from 1991, I can't wait to see what you guys think. Is this a horror film or a thriller? But that's going to go to Silence of the Lambs.
It's a horror movie until it makes a whole bunch of money, then it becomes a thriller.
Guys, let me know down below what are some horror titles that you think every horror collector should own, and make sure to head over to my YouTube channel to check out the full video.
Okay. Every horror fan should own your kind of your Mount Rushmores, your Nightmare on Elm Street, your Halloween, your Friday the 13th, your Hellraiser. Those are definite recommends. Psycho is certainly in there. Night of the Living Dead for sure. The Fly. I would recommend The Fly. Yeah. There's a lot of good starter horror film. I need to show my nephew The Fly. Is The Fly is Alien? Alien, absolutely. Alien is a horror film, whereas Aliens is an action sci-fi movie. Alien is a horror sci-fi movie, absolutely. Are we talking like art style or popular style? Either or. We could do either or. But for me, yeah, those are some of your real standard horror films that I would start horror fans out on. I've been kind of running my nephew who just turned 12. I've been running him through a bunch of horror films and stuff. He was like me. He was super scared of stuff. And I've been kind of introducing him to things, and he saw Dead Alive. He really loved that. And I was just like, this kid's he's going to be all right. Hereditary and Rosemary's Baby go on my list. Yeah, Yeah, definitely some Rosemary's Baby for sure, because you get some of that classic stuff in there for new people. And Hereditary is one that, like, I even saw normies going out of going like, oh Jesus, I love it. All right, what's next?
Everyone thinks Crash is the worst Best Picture winner.
I think it is. I think it is the worst Best Picture winner. It's absolutely terrible. Jeff Russo, are you telling me that there's a worse Best Picture than Crash? Crash, the movie's so terrible that it sits you down and goes, hey, racism is bad. Okay? You hear me? It's bad. Don't be racist. You don't be racist. Now give me an Academy Award.
And I used to think that too until I did a little more research. And
all right, let's see what he's got.
Look, Crash beating Brokeback Mountain in 2006 was a disgrace.
There's so many other things that just like, that's the worst. It's the worst. There's like any other film other than that could have won. And do I say the controversial thing? Scientology might be why Paul Haggis won that Oscar.
It's literally just an after-school film with a budget.
It's not even a good after-school film. It's not even a good after-school movie.
Understand why it was chosen, but hey,
you know why it was chosen. You don't know why it was chosen. It was chosen because it was written for every liberal white Hollywood person to say, if you don't vote for this, you're a racist. And guess what? They all fucking believed it. They all believed that if they didn't vote for this movie, they themselves were racist. That's why this movie won an Academy Award, because old white people didn't want other people to think they were racist. That's why the movie won. Period.
At least Crash had something to say, because this other film did not. It's 1953 and Cecil B. DeMille made a movie about, get this, a circus, trapeze artist. Charlton Heston was the circus manager. It has barely any plot. It's called The Greatest Show on Earth.
Well, most circuses don't really have a plot. They're just kind of like a scene to scene to scene thing.
And it beat out High Noon, which is widely considered to be one of the great.
High Noon's amazing. Listen, there's a High Noon poster right there. Okay, that's a High Noon poster if you can't tell. So listen, I'm a fan.
Greatest films ever made. Gary Cooper, Grace Kelly. It's legendary, and it lost to a circus movie. And critics hated this movie at the time. Film historians are still upset about it, and there are defenders of movies like Crash out there. Nobody.
If you defend Crash, let me know.
Is defending The Greatest Show on Earth. They gave Cecil B. DeMille this award because he was a Hollywood legend, basically giving him the...
Oh, you mean the Academy Awards are just giving things to people when they actually didn't deserve them, and they're just getting them for, milestones in their careers and whatnot? You say.
The award.
Wonder why we haven't watched. I haven't watched the Academy Awards in years, since we've been doing HMP on Sunday nights for a decade now. There was a couple years where I would just kind of like have it on the screen in front of me, and I would mute it and just watch it as things were going on. And when the show was done, I would watch the rest of it. But I haven't done that in years. And you know how much I missed it? None. I don't care anymore.
But not the movie, and in return missing out on one of the greatest films ever made in High Noon. So yeah, Crash is bad. There are lots of other bad movies that have won Best Picture, but I think The Greatest Show...
He says a lot, and then he just showed us two, though.
Show on Earth is probably the worst of them all.
I don't know about that. Crash is here's the thing. Crash had you understand why they did that for that movie. They're honoring Cecil B. DeMille, right? Why they do it for Crash, though? Outside of, old white people thinking like, I'm not racist if I vote for this one.
I only watch silent films, not these talkies.
Oh, is it worth watching as a so bad it's good thing? It's tough. It's tough because I don't even know if it's good enough on that level. What I would suggest to you is watch a couple of clips on YouTube, and if you giggle at those, then maybe you might want to watch it as kind of a bit of a laugh, have a couple of adult beverages and laugh at the silly after school special about racism. That you could do. But like, see if you're gonna respond that way. Don't be plopping down no money ahead of time now. Film Bros in 1926.
Real films don't need dialogue to say something. Charlie Chaplin is popular, but he's a hack. Buster Keaton is an artist. I don't think.
Listen, there are people that think like that right now. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Anyone's gonna be able to top the train going at the screen. I picked.
The train arrival. That train arrival. Okay, outside of that, we can't top that. You're not topping that, man. You can't get better than that.
The projectionist $1 so I can see as many movies as I want in 1 month. If I see like 2 movies a month, it pays for itself. You haven't seen The Cabinet of Dr. Caligari? You have to see it.
Oh my God, absolutely.
I mean, I don't know how you're going to be able to see it because it's not in theaters anymore. Do you see that the Lumiere brothers split up? I think August is so much better than the other one. What's his name? Talkies are just...
Very, very niche jokes about the Lumiere brothers. Wow.
Just a fad. Why do they call them movies? They move. They don't talk. I'm into foreign films like German Expressionism. You probably wouldn't get it. They don't release any original movies anymore. 12 frames per second is what the human eye was meant to see.
Oh my God. It's so great. This is so very accurate of things that could have easily been said over times. Because there were arguments for what, frame rates were and the actual, where things fall off for the human eye and the persistence of motion, be it the thing of how many images that you see to where all of a sudden it looks, smooth enough for you. And I was just thinking about this the other day is that, in 24 frames is a very specific thing that they decided in order for that persistence of motion to actually still be there, but also at the same time be able to save enough film to where they weren't going overboard with stuff. So like they really were thinking about a cost-cutting fashion from the beginning.
24 frames per second looks just weird and fast. The stop motion animation looks so fake. I wish someone could just animate it, like generate it on a computer with
on a computer, a thing that doesn't exist yet.
Imagery. When movies moved from the Nickelodeons to the theaters, it just never was the same. Like,
yeah, I'd rather be, looking at the little tiny screens and stuff.
I don't want to watch a movie on a big screen with a bunch of people. I want to watch it with a small screen by myself.
On the side of the street, as the good Lord intended.
Because there are a lot of actors here, they're scared because Jim be going off book.
Improvising with Jim Carrey. I think I got 2 of this guy's clips from this podcast that he's done close to the end of the show. I thought I'd spaced him out further than that, but apparently not.
And I said, oh, shit, that's right down my line.
Yeah.
Because that's what I do. You think just because I'm small, you can just push me around? Well, come on, my friend, let's boogie. I'm going to give you a little lesson in low center of gravity. I remember they showed him, they said, look, Tony can do the nunchucks. The nunchucks change everything. And he was just looking, he was like, he started coming up with ideas, his mind be working, and we started doing this scene. Man, everything was flowing. Oh, it's on now. I made sure, I said, you slap me on this side now, because you make sure you slap me on the right side, because I don't want to hit you with the nunchucks. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But I had the rubber nunchuck, but the director said, use the real nunchuck. I said, nah, I'm not going to do that.
I'm not going to take Jim.
Smack this $20 million man in the face with your nunchucks, guy. Go right on ahead. Why not?
I'm not going to do that, But Jim is just, oh, man, he is so good. His comedy is at another level.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
His mind be going 100 miles an hour, but he always come up with good stuff.
Yeah.
I just remember him coming over to me when we had done this thing. He said, man, you great. He said, we should do a movie together, a cop movie. He said, I would love to do something else with you.
Yeah.
And I just remember, and I was like, wow, Jim Carrey said he want to, do something with me.
And then he went and retired. What did you guys think about the Jim Carrey getting that award? You think think there was a double? You think he had too much plastic surgery? What's everybody think about that? I don't know. I think they killed Jim Carrey a long time ago. when he started getting on Jimmy Kimmel and talk about the Illuminati and goes, "You're laughing at it. You were in it," and then we find out everything that we know. No, not that one. Sometimes when you know too much.
I'm in 6th grade. Word around the school spreads like wildfire. Shay, your dad's here. So
I am a big fan of O'Shea Jackson Jr. I will go so far and be as liberal to say that he's a far better actor than his father. And I'm excited for, when he's in a new thing. I think the guy is very charismatic. I think he has in acting what dad could never have. I don't know, and I like Ice Cube. I think Ice Cube's fine. But the man's not a fantastic actor. His son, however, does a real good job.
I'm thinking, what did I do? Picking me up from school is grandma business. My dad's not doing this, dude. So I'm like, I can't think of what I did. So when I get outside, he's outside in the nice car. Now, we got family vehicles, 4 doors, but he's here in the 2-door. So this is the nice car. Again,
oh, man, that's when cool dad's picking you up.
in the car, he drives all the way to Venice. Sit down at this restaurant. We're at a table that's bigger than it should be for 2 people. In walks my hero, The Rock. Jesus. And he just sits next to me, and him and my dad have a meeting over lunch, and I am starstruck beyond belief. I can't get any words to come out of my mouth. As a kid, the memories I have from it is I got a cheeseburger. He got a cheeseburger. I got a root beer. He got a Diet Coke. Thought that was weird. Wasn't really feeling that.
Wanted caffeine, but he didn't want the sugar.
My dad was like, dude, talk to him. Who's
and give him the consistent Ice Cube face in all of his acting, which is called the stanky face. It's like, how do you act like Ice Cube? Real easy. You just look like somebody farted right by you. Just put on that fucking farted. Congratulations, you now act as good as Ice Cube.
do you want him to kick? And I'm just like, I can't talk. He signed my shirt, took a picture, he paid for his meal. Lady came back for the change. He didn't take the change, just walked out. And I took his quarter and put it in my pocket. And I put it in a sandwich bag, and I still have it.
You still got the quarter.
Damn right.
Where's
That's funny.
Quarter at?
I give it to my mom. She has it in her safe.
The lucky quarter.
Yeah, dude. It's Rock's quarter, bro.
How old were you?
12.
Oh.
Thank God. Thank God. He's like 22. Oh, or if you're 12, that's fine. 12 is A-okay. But bro, I was about to say, what? Come on.
In the heat of loving wrestling,
dude. Yeah,
this is the biggest...
I went to the Scorpion King premiere.
That's a Rock fan.
Guy,
that's a Rock fan.
Yeah, I went to see The Mummy Returns twice. He's in the movie for 5 minutes. This was my dude, bro.
That's crazy. That's got to be cool. And awesome that Dad knew enough to go, we're having a meeting with this guy. Let's bring the kid along because the kid loves him. That's a good dad too.
Hey, there's my family.
All right, so we're gonna. This is my boy who loves Trapped or Trap. I keep saying Trapped as if it's a thing, but no, it's like, hey, you guys want to watch something today?
What do you guys want to do today?
I'd like to go to the mall.
Could we watch Oppenheimer?
Oh, Grandpa.
No parking at the mall.
Barely any Josh Hart at screen time. What else?
That's a terrible place. What else?
How about the zoo?
How about one battle after another?
Too much walking, too much noise.
Too long, too much noise. Everybody's always talking about it. That is true. Everybody's always talking about that movie. Wrongfully so.
You can't have any good conversation. Not like at Chili's.
Not like Trap. What else?
Well, there's always the beach.
No, you got to sit on the ground to eat. I need a cushioned chair with back support. Like at Chili's.
Like a Trap.
Okay, well, how about Chili's? Maybe. Let's get in the car and see where it takes us.
I think it's taking us to Trap. I love how he's the only person on the internet who really likes Trap, but he will be the first person to say, hey, a lot of people like this movie. To which you can easily say the box office says otherwise.
I was being fitted for all this terrorist gear. I said, why would I be wearing this when I've got all these huge hulks who are going to do all the dirty work? I was just thinking, if I was wearing a suit, maybe there could be a scene where I put on an American accent and he thinks I'm one of the hostages. I kind of got the Joel Silver, get the hell out of here, you'll wear what you're told. And then I came back and they handed me the new script. So, it just pays to occasionally use a little bit of theater training when you're doing a movie.
Man, Alan Rickman, one of the best, man. And a guy so good at playing his parts and stuff that I think a lot of us all thought that he was probably a fucking monster. He seemed like a bad guy. He seemed like a really rough kind of tumble character that was just like, very British, very stern and whatnot. And then everything that you see is just like, nope, the man was just the nicest sweetheart of a human being. And that's just awesome. That's really great to hear. It's a damn shame that we lost him as early as we did. But boy, oh boy, we do still have his movies to look back on and remember the good times. Man, we'll be missed.
Here are 3 movies that actually scared me.
All right, 3 movies that actually scared you. I find as somebody who, has dedicated himself to kind of watching a whole bunch of horror movies, certainly later in my life, because I grew up a scared kid. So I did not watch a lot of horror movies growing up. So I felt like I had to watch a whole bunch to kind of catch up to the gang here and everything. And I have for a very long time. Let's see if I agree with her on what is and ain't scary.
Starting off with a more recent one, Bring Her Back.
Love it, 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 love it. How old What's-Her-Face didn't get a nomination for that movie this year? Don't know. Bring Her Back, fantastic. And I'd love to see anything else coming out of those YouTube boys. Whatever they want to do, I'm here for it.
Last year, and I was so pleasantly surprised with this one. It was horrible.
I just knew YouTube dudes, and it was a horror movie, and people liked their last horror movie, and that's when I went to see it, because I didn't even see a Bring Her Back previously. I've seen it afterwards. Enjoyed that one very much too. So I'm on board with those boys. But yeah,
all the best ways, and it became one of my favorite movies that I watched in 2025. The gore was actually made me feel a little bit ill, which I don't get like that.
Oh, when that kid is chewing on a knife, you're just like crawling in your seat, just ready to die.
I've watched Saw enough times to not care too much about gore. There was parts of it
there are parts where you're just like, oh gee.
My next pick is an older one, and it's one of the first horrors that I saw, and that is Hostel.
All right, I like Hostel a whole bunch.
Again, it's not really jump scary, but it's gory. The gore in it has ingrained into my brain, and I can't get rid of it. And my final pick,
I like that movie. I know that there's a lot of folks that don't get down with the what got labeled as the torture porn era and stuff like that, and I understand why. I get it. I can get, but to me, and again, once I was somebody who didn't like horror movies, didn't like gory stuff for the longest of time, but eventually when I kind of started seeing it for the art form that it was, that's when I really started to appreciate it, go oh, what they're actually showing us here and convincing us, this magic trick that we're seeing on film, that's when I kind of got on board. I was just oh, this is what we're seeing. And you don't always have to go oh, it's the grossest thing in the world. And maybe it is, but I don't know. It's art. It's art. Eventually you just got to go, it's just art.
Seems like a kind of obvious one, but let me tell you my story for a second. Hereditary.
Oh, we've talked about it previously in the chat here and everything. Hereditary, it was great. It was one that I didn't see right away, but I was working in a movie theater, and a whole bunch of the staff and stuff went and saw it, and people that, kids in their 20s and stuff, and they were coming out and they were stoked on it. And I was just man, if these dumb kids like this is probably pretty decent. If they were that's super scary, I'm okay, if they think that's super scary, let's check it out. And they were right. It was good. So good.
First time I watched this movie in the cinema, I absolutely loved it. I was this is the best movie I've ever seen. This is my favorite movie I've ever seen. And
that is a wild statement to make, gentlemen. If there's a lady that tells you this stuff, I'm not saying that she can't be the one. Just be careful. Just be careful. And she goes, Hereditary, my favorite movie of all time. Careful.
To this day, I still think it is an incredible, incredible movie. However, the second time I watched it for my YouTube channel, I watched it alone, and I watched it in my room, and then later on, I had a massive panic attack. And
You know, I bought it on Blu-ray and I still have yet to really watch it because you got to be in a mood for that one, you know?
ended up in A&E. That movie scared me so much, I had a panic attack. So it is safe to say that Hereditary really, truly did scare me. Let me know what horror movies have really scared you, because also, I want to add some more to that list. Maybe. Do I want to do that?
That's a real good one. Things that kind of really scared me. I think Hellraiser was still like a really scary flick for sure. The Exorcist is an easy one, you know. Obviously, it's just kind of like your standard sort of there. But like I said, that Bring Her Back was great. Talk to Me was another one from the same directors there and everything. That was really great, nice and gory and stuff like that. So yeah.
What film is overrated? Sinners.
Agreed. Oh, you can't say it in public because the world will shun you. Even though I believe that Sinners is a really good movie, I enjoyed it. Is it overrated? 100% it's overrated. For sure. Again, that's another one that, like, I think a lot of white people would just go like, if you don't like this, you're racist, you know. And like, you know, that's not the case. Come on. If you don't like this movie, that's fine.
Truly one of the worst films I've ever seen.
Wow, listen, again, one of the worst films you ever seen. When people say stuff like that, my response is, as is always, see more movies, my friend. Because if you think Sinners was one of the worst movies you've ever seen, I know you ain't seen many movies. Because Sinners, even if you're not a super fan of it, you can't even say that that's not one of the worst films of all time. Get bent.
It's a complete soup. He could have made either a good cowboy film, or a good vampire film, or a good sex film, or a good music film, and he decided to do none of the above.
I mostly agree with that, but there's so much worse than that. Come on,
Sucks. It sucks. People need to stop calling me racist for saying this.
True, they do. Like, you can have that opinion and not actually be a racist. Now, some racists might have that opinion, but that does not necessarily nor inherently make you racist.
It just sucks.
But do you not like all those bits mixed in once and like a big minestrone soup?
No, this is like in
minestrone soup sucks ass. By the way, what am I eating here? What is this, barley? Ugh.
Friends, when Rachel makes the trifle that's got cream and beef in it. Pick a genre.
What is your favorite film?
Paris, Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting choice. Interesting juxtaposition. I'll say that.
Yeah. It has the best opening and the best closing of a film I've ever seen. It's a real, they don't make films like this anymore. It's quite slow, but I've seen much shorter films that felt much longer. Yeah. Have you seen The Mastermind?
Oh, no, with Josh O'Connor. No, I haven't.
Bro, sucks. It's...
I love it when we're bringing somebody. It's like, hey, have you seen this movie? Fucking sucks.
80 minutes long and it feels like a Christopher Nolan film. You're just like, oh my God, take the paintings and leave the building. I am bored.
Hey, listen, man, I like it when people can call it like it is and say things that are controversial and against the grain. Even if they might be trolling a little bit sometimes. You never know.
We should have a movie.
All right, this isn't about, like, she's talking about movies, and I didn't realize this one was about movies. But I want to end this TikTok Trash Tuesday with introducing you to my new TikTok Trash crush. This is Christina Mendez, and she's all about orbology. None of this shit makes any sense, but this chick is unbelievably hot, and I can't stop watching these fucking TikToks. So I thought I'd share them with you. You tell me. You tell me.
Yeah. Have you ever watched Nowhere? It's a very special service.
Nowhere? Are we talking about the Gregor Rocky film Nowhere? No, she can't be talking about that.
It streams everywhere. Yeah, everywhere. But you can only find it if you yourself are nowhere. Nowhere, which is not an easy place to be. Sometimes it streams nothing. Me, look. But mostly, it streams everything. From my favorite show, What the Funk is Going On, to our most successful film, Bees in Here 2. Bees in There. Technically haven't made it yet. Yeah.
Why would you not want to watch this?
Nowhere comes to you when you're bored, brain empty, ready for something new. To fill the void. To fill the void.
Listen, filling voids is what I do, lady.
Wet Sock Prophecy had a quiet run. Nice. Don't look for it. It will find you. Okay? Usually it's just yeah. Look. ¿Te gusta? Yeah. But sometimes it streams you. That's my favorite program. Nice. SoBad. Yeah. Look.
I normally take that TikTok bloop bloop out there, but I leave that in there because I know some of you dirty babies out there want to find this account and go in there. We'll have to fight for her. She's hot. Oh, you listen, Val. Listen. My word. That is it, everybody. We have reached the end of another TikTok Trash Tuesday. I want to thank all of you dirty babies for coming, hanging out. It's been lovely. We've seen a lot of people in chat. We've had a lot of people in and out and stuff. It's been great. And again, hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the hype button as always. And join us back here on Sunday when we're talking more of our, what am I called? March of Dime series. And we're talking, is it Panic in the Park? I think we're talking. Is it the name of it? So Robert Redford and Jane Fonda joint. So we'll be checking that out on Sunday. So come and join us then. Why don't you? What else? Oh, check out Sean Likes Spaceships. The link for that is in the show notes. Sean's got a new channel out here and everything where he's going to be reviewing movies about spaceships and stuff. And he's starting out. He's got a teaser trailer up there right now. And his first full review is going to be about Project Hail Mary. That's coming up in just a couple of days here and everything. He's going to be talking about that. He's read the book and whatnot. He's interested in the movie, and he's going to do a review of that on YouTube there. So check that out over at Sean Likes Spaceships. Links are in the show notes below. And again, check us out every Sunday where we're just doing our regular half-ass movie podcast. And for the love of all that is sweet and holy, I did a full YouTube video. It's less than 7 minutes long, so it's literally like so little of your time. Go check out my fried rice and Jackie Chan video here on YouTube. I make fried rice and I talk about Jackie Chan and talk about how those two things are related and they have so much in common, Jackie Chan and fried rice. So check out that video on the main YouTube channel as well. Hit the like and subscribe. Like the video's got good, has a good like to watch ratio. The watch time is up, but for whatever reason, YouTube isn't kicking that out to people. So go watch that video. Do me that big giant favor. I'd love you so much. Leave a comment. Just say dirty baby as your comment or something like that. That's all we ever need over there. That is it, everybody. Join us next week for another TikTok Trash Tuesday. And you know what? We'll see you then. Adios, everybody.